It is Bobby Bones. Bobby Bones, Macrodosing, a Macrodosing listener.
It's my favorite podcast.
I love that.
Of all podcasts. It's like I saw Mickey Mouse a minute ago when Mad Dog came out to get me. She's like, I'm Madison. And it's like you go to Disney for the first time and you see the mouse in person. Yeah. You're like, holy crap. And I played it cool. I was like, hey, I'm Bobby. Really nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. But inside it was like, this is real.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
There's a 2-hour line of adults waiting to shake Big T's hand every day. Yeah. Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday today. It is September 4th, and today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Hey, guess what's back?
What?
Football's back.
Yeah.
We got football. Don't act like you're not excited about it, Big T. We got some great...
Did you not hear my exclamation?
It was a sarcastic yeah.
It was not.
You sound like a cartoon wind-up doll that you pull the string. Yeah. The Big T action figure. Are you excited for football?
Yeah.
All right, that's better. We got big games coming up this week. Obviously, tonight we got kickoff. We got Cowboys and Eagles. We got JMU Louisville. And this weekend we got full slate of college and full slate of NFL. And my pants just got a little bit tighter. Just saying that out loud. It's so awesome. If you're trying to go to the games, you should shop on Game Time because they've got the best deals, the best last-minute prices for tickets, easiest way to buy the Game Time app. Check it out. It gives the advantage back to fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. Big T, can you pull up James Madison at Louisville Friday night?
I can.
In Louisville, Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
It's one of those words where the drunker you sound when you say it, the more accurate your pronunciation is. I think Memphis is like that too. Memphis, Louisville.
No, you're not even going to believe this.
I'm not going to believe it. What are the prices?
I can get you in for $11.
Some people are asking, bad sports town, Louisville? Not showing up for their team? Listen,
no longer Papa John's Stadium.
I would look. That's probably why they're not buying the tickets.
Yeah.
Go woke, go broke.
Yeah.
But you can get in for $11, and you can see my James Madison Dukes. I believe they're 14-point underdogs. But you know what they say when those two teams get together throughout the spread.
2 touchdowns, most dangerous spread in sports.
That is a fact. And
ask Alabama about it.
That's right. If JMU wins, we're in the driver's seat for a playoff berth. I know it's easy, it's early in the season, but it's something that I have thought about. But it's going to be a good game. 2 fun teams to watch, good offenses. And with Game Time, you can get the best price, and fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying those college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code MACRO. Get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code MACRO, $20 off. I don't know if they probably don't end up paying you if it's $11 for a ticket and then use the $20 off. But I would imagine that the tickets would probably be free.
I think so.
If you use that code.
Yeah. So
What's
then maybe
better than
so
that?
you can get some that are a little bit better than even
Upgrade.
right.
Upgrade. Go beyond just get in price. Maybe get in and have a seat that you really, really love and use that code MACRO, macro, get $20 off. Hope to see some of you guys out there. I will not be able to make the trip to Louisville, Kentucky, but I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be excited, and college football is back. Welcome back to Macrodosing. Big show today. We got Bobby Bones on from the Bobby Bones Show. He is a Macrodosian. He is one of you all, and he's live in studio. Great guy. Really enjoyed talking to him. He's the man. We're going to get to him in just a little bit. Right off the bat, I mean, I'm just looking at the news. Just came across my desk. This is the just came across my desk alert. It might be time for my own January 6th. My own personal January 6th. The RedZone channel is going to have full commercials this year. We need to do something about this, America.
Now
You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Abraham Lincoln said that. So did Aaron Tippin.
Who's Aaron Tippin?
Oh, my God. You don't know country music.
I don't know who that is.
He's saying there ain't nothing wrong with radio. My Blue Angel.
When was this song released?
You've got to stand for something. I want to say 1993.
Yeah, this guy's not crossed my desk.
A great artist. Anyways, the RedZone channel is going to have commercials this year. This is a disaster. I feel like disaster is not even a big enough word. What's a bigger disaster? A super disaster?
Calamity?
This is a calamity. Yes, this is a calamity. It's a dark day. It's a sad day. It's a bad day on what should be a great day of celebration and anticipation of the upcoming season.
Now, I started to give a take before we were recording about Red Zone.
You started, and then I stopped you.
So everybody talks about how much they love Red Zone. Red Zone is the wokeification of football viewership. If you like football, turn on the games and watch the football. But you just want, I only want to see it when they're about to score. I love touchdowns. And it's just like, you're not,
What's that?
if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one. If you have 8 games, you don't have one.
Yeah, it's the TikTok of the NFL.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
TikTok.
100%.
It's I don't disagree with that, but also saying that Red Zone sucks, nobody should watch Red Zone, that's a very privileged take. I'd like you to check your privilege.
That is true, but also even more than I don't like Red Zone, it's people love to talk about how much they love Red Zone, and I know for a fact this many people don't love Red Zone.
For a long time, I didn't have the money to pay for Sunday ticket. And Red Zone was my way to watch the Commanders when I was living in the Redskins at the time when I was living in Texas. It was my way to watch out-of-market games. You check in, you know what's going on in the league. Didn't necessarily have the $300 to DirecTV, and one time they promised me it for free, which they then reneged on, which is a completely different conversation. But yeah, it's not the ideal way to watch football. I agree. You don't get a feel for the game. You're not watching a football game.
Agreed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like crack. It's football crack.
Yes.
In reality, football should be a nice.
Some people love crack.
Football should be a nice cold beer.
Sure.
Right? Maybe a couple beers. Maybe even 3 or 4 beers. But football,
5 beers, would you say?
A football game is 3 beers. And Red Zone is pure crack cocaine.
I agree with that analysis.
And it's not to say that crack cocaine isn't fun. I'm sure that's fun, but it's not the same. You don't get the full experience.
Should we get Jerry in here? He loves football and used to like crack.
He used to like crack. Yeah, we actually should ask him for his take about that. But yeah, Aaron, you probably don't really have a take on this, considering that you never really had to watch Red Zone because you were just you had the best seats for one game.
Yeah, no, I mean I understand what Red Zone is. Red Zone it's a good for like casual fans of the sport.
Agreed.
Like fantasy football players, shit like that. Yeah, I think it's good for stuff like that. So you need that.
Mm-hmm. And you're playing fantasy, right?
I am playing fantasy right now.
Do you want to tell us your team?
I think my team. All right, a team.
Wait, how many players in the league?
12.
Okay.
12 league team.
You want to know a good bit? When he says the team, be like, is this a 30-person league?
Yeah, that's good.
What you say, Ken?
Nothing.
What's your roster?
Read the team.
Yeah. I think my team would have been insane about 4 years ago.
Okay. I like these teams.
That's a bad precursor.
I'm just saying, like I did the best I could with what I knew. A lot of the names I don't recognize. I had my homeboy.
I had a
Julio.
joke about that when he said it would have been insane 4 years ago, but I didn't say it.
Insane 4 years ago.
It's not really an appropriate joke.
What is it?
Yeah, I'm lost.
I was going to say, so J.J. McCarthy's your quarterback?
No, that's a deep cut, though.
That's why I didn't say it. Yeah,
he cured himself.
Yeah, he did.
Google.
Yeah. Touch grass.
What happened? I don't know. What is
he had some mental issues and he got over it, and he's been obviously a great story. He was a national champion in college, got picked in the first round of the NFL. He's doing great. I'm happy for him. Wishing him nothing but the best. It was just a joke that I had to say under the pretense of not saying the joke.
Got you.
You know how that goes.
Good job. No, yeah, it's a great job. All right, so yeah, it's okay. I got my quarterback is Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Good start.
Thank you. Wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. I don't hate that pick. I didn't hate the pick. He was there at a very high value.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's still one of the, if not the fastest player in the league. So I think you always got to bet on that. I don't even think it's him. I think it's his team surrounding him. He got quarterback issues and shit like that.
It might be a little bit of him.
Huh?
It might be a little bit of him.
No, I'm talking about his production. I think
Yeah.
he's still a productive player. I just think if you have a quarterback who can consistently get you the ball, he would produce higher results.
Agreed.
All right. And my next one is, I don't even know how to say his name. Teteroa McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
Titaroa.
There you go. All right.
Tet. A lot of
So
people just call him Tet.
yeah, there we go. So those are my top two receivers. Running back, I did go with Christian McCaffrey. I feel like he's gonna have a bounce back year, possible. This is where it starts to get like, what are you doing? I took Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Probably got him around earlier than I should have, but I just think so. He's hitting his quote unquote 30-year-old running back age, but he's never been like um uh a workhorse back. So I feel like that's going to extend his career. One, two, he's more of a pass catching out the backfield guy. Like I said, he's never been a bruiser. He's always been capable of carrying the load, but probably not to the extent of like a full workhorse back. So I feel like that's still a good value pick, and I feel like he's going to be productive this year.
Also, good news is they have no other players with talent, so that's a plus.
Also, it is crazy that he just turned 20, or sorry, he just turned 30. If you had asked me how old is Alvin Kamara, I think I would have said 33.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he's older?
Yeah, I think he's old. I mean, he's been the running back in New Orleans for forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's solid, right? And then tight end, I got the best tight end in the league right now, Brock Bowers.
Okay,
that was
good
a
pick.
And then for my flex is open right now, so I'll just give you the rest of my guys. I got DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
I got Nick Chubb. Joe Mixon is hurt right now. I think he's on the PUP, so he's not going to play the first 4 games. And like I said, he's on my bench right now. But some tell me like he's a hardworking cat, always been productive. But if I know Houston's game is play action, run the ball, good defense.
Yeah.
Right. And so if that's the case and they rely on Nick, I feel like I get some good production out of him early.
He's a good guy to root for too.
Yeah, 1,000%. Here's one who always lets me down every year, but I'm going to continue to pick him because the talent level's so high. But Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
There's always that one.
Listen, right now there's probably like 10,000 people out there listening to you being like, "Yep, that's me."
Yeah.
Like from a physical standpoint,
he should be so fucking good.
He should be the best. And when Michael Penix gets in, I start to think, okay, maybe he's the answer. Maybe Michael Penix will be like, "Oh, I realize that he's talented."
And I have been working on a take about the Falcons this year, Arian. I don't know if you saw it happen to Alabama. They're in some deep shit right now. Imagine how good Michael Penix must be to have dragged that sorry-ass coach to a national championship game and gotten him the Bama job. Now, I think the Falcons might be good.
Okay, I see I'm picking up what you're putting down. I saw him, and again, this is like I'm pretty sure fantasy owners have felt this vibe with players over the year where it's just you see a guy and you're like, whoa, I got to. So I think Keenan Allen, and I was like, God, he's there. I got.
You said 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I think he had
no, he's very, very productive receiver.
I would say this may be a hot take. I would say maybe top 5 route runners of all time.
Give me your top 5 route runners.
Okay, that's tough. Doing off the top of my head is wild. But number 1, bar none, is Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was just unreal, and having 1,000-yard season at 40 years old is a testament to how he runs routes. And understanding of defensive schemes. I would say, and this is in no particular order because I'm just going off the top of my head, I will put Antonio Brown in there.
Okay.
I would probably put. Oh, this is tough. This is tough off the head.
I got one for you.
I would probably put Devontae Adams in there.
Okay.
I got Chris Carter.
Yeah.
I'll put Chris Carter in there. Just route running capability, and I would honestly Keenan Allen. So that would be. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. I know. What about? Yeah, your guy's probably in there too. It's off the top of my head.
What about Ocho Cinco?
Oh, okay. Take out Devontae Adams. Put Ocho Cinco in there. That's my top 5. You're right about that.
He was nasty.
That boy had the sweetest feet of all time.
Technician.
Love Ocho Cinco, man. But anywho. Had to grab Keenan Allen. He was there. Another one where I grabbed is Najee Harris. Not sure I'm gonna get too much production out of him, but I think who knows, he may revive himself in LA.
Are you concerned about his eyes?
Am I what?
Do you know about his eyes?
I don't know about his eyes. What's wrong with
He
that?
got shot in the eye with a firework on 4th of July.
Wow.
He was on
Is
the
he,
he was on the inactive list for a while. I think they just cleared him for full contact. I don't know why they wouldn't clear him for 2 contacts, but at least one. He still got the one. But yeah, he's kind of a question mark. But yeah, if he's healthy, he should be good in that offense. They run the ball a lot.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. And then, towards the end of it, just got Wan'Dale Robinson as a receiver with the Giants, and then I got a backup quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So that's my squad. Oh, I got Brandon Aubrey as my kicker for Dallas.
He's good.
So overall, Buffalo. I went Buffalo defense, but how I usually do defense is I get like a pretty solid defense to start, and then as you kind of gauge how the teams go,
Yeah.
The shitty offenses, if whatever defense is playing a shitty offense, I'll try to grab them, and I just kind of substitute my defense in and out.
Yep. I like that strategy. My strategy for defense is usually pick the best defense in the weakest division, because then they get to play 3 shitty teams twice. So I got the Texans this year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good defense.
Arian, I've got a guy you need to go look up if he got drafted in your league.
All right, I'm gonna look right now.
His name's Dante Thornton. He's a rookie from Tennessee. I'm going to give you a stat. You ready for this? There are 3 players in NFL history to be 6'5" and run a 4.3 40. Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, and Dante Thornton.
Yeah, but
he's going to start for the Raiders.
All right, I'm gonna pick him up, and I'm dropping. Who am I going to? I'm gonna drop Robinson from New York. I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Who are their other receivers?
Ooh, in Vegas?
Because we got Geno. They got Geno Smith, right?
They don't have Kendrick Bourne anymore, right?
I don't know. I don't know another receiver on that team.
I mean, this is kind of stuff I got to know going into Sunday. Raiders receivers. Let's see. They don't have Amari Cooper, do they? Yes, I think they do have. Did Cooper go back?
Well, that'd have been great news 6 years ago.
Yeah, Cooper did go back.
Outstanding player. Incredible college player. But,
of course.
Yeah, they got Cooper and Trey Tucker.
Yeah, so Dante Thornton, big year loading.
Jacoby Myers also.
That's fine.
All right. Well, that's a name to know.
I'm high on Dante.
Grade my draft.
Was that a 30-team league? It's pretty good.
No, it's 12.
Oh, 12-team? Oh. No, I think you did pretty good. You exaggerated. The Alvin Kamara one, that stands out to me as being like, I don't know. My prediction for his season this year is that he's gonna catch whatever Michael Thomas had, where he's gonna see the team and just be like, I don't really think that it's a good choice for me to play football, so I'll just keep getting paid if that's cool, but my ankle hurts. And no disrespect to Alvin Kamara, you've earned your contract, you've earned your money, get paid, but at some point you have to look at the team and say, why am I doing this to myself every week?
I feel you.
Big T, I have a question for you. Since we didn't tape on Monday because it was Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, by the way, to all the pregos out there. Had a question for you about college football over the weekend. A take that I put out there on part of my take the other day. I watched the entire Nico game.
As did I.
Did it make you happy?
It made me happy for several reasons. I responsibly bet some money on the University of Utah.
So
that was the easiest winner of the weekend. Mm-hmm. There's part of my brain that says you should feel bad for this person because he is listening to people giving him some of the most horrific advice I've ever seen, and I just can't get there. I just can't do it.
Maybe someday.
Maybe.
But it was nice to see, like, if he had gone out there and been incredible. That would have wrecked you a little bit.
I mean, we're in a good spot, so I'm fine with whatever. But yeah, I'm not worried about him being incredible.
All right, so my take is, should he maybe try to be a receiver or a tight end?
Well, he's like one of the best volleyball players in America.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He's like, he was the number 1 amateur volleyball player or whatever.
I mean, he's got the body for it. But not to go all Bill Polian on you, but he just doesn't have – he's not a great passer.
Did you see what UNLV said about him this week?
What?
They asked one of the DBs what sticks out about him on tape. He said nothing.
Yeah. I mean, accurate. He's fast. He's a good runner.
He's an okay runner.
He doesn't have great pocket presence, and he's not great in terms of like deciding when to run.
I was texting Blutman, our resident UCLA fan, during that game, and in the first quarter, he had a guy streaking down the field, overthrew him by about 10 yards. I said, "Seen that before?"
Mm-hmm. But I mean, do you agree that he would be like an elite tight end?
Maybe. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a bad deal. I wish him the best. Kind of.
You don't mean that.
Yeah, not really, but
you wish him not the worst.
He's made his decision. Best of luck, brother.
And you guys got a quarterback. It looks like.
Yeah,
Aguilar.
I'm concerned we might be special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's special?
I watched a film breakdown of our offense from Saturday, and it was the first. I'm the most excited I've been to watch football since 2022. Like the last 2 years, like 23 was a rebuilding year. We had Joe, whatever. Last year, Nico had us in hell. Even though our defense was so great, we still went to the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were running stuff Saturday that we just haven't run in 3 years, and it was exciting.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Yeah.
I hope they're special.
I hope so. Big one next week.
Who you got?
Georgia coming in.
Oh, big time.
Gunnar Stockton's first road game.
We're going to learn a lot.
Yep.
I like saying that when we're looking at early season. We're about to learn a lot about these two teams.
Yep.
How do you feel about Alabama?
Oh, man. You hate to see what's happening down there. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal.
Like, should you guys even smoke cigars if you beat them this year?
Yes, it's a long-standing tradition. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. They got a $70 million buyout, I hear. It's a lot of money.
It's a good time to open a cigar shop in Knoxville.
Yeah.
Good market for it. Do the prospects look okay?
Yeah, it's I mean, they got it was the first time I like the Clemson national championship game where Clemson killed them. I think that's the only time I've ever seen Nick Saban get out-schemed severely. This was the first time I ever watched Alabama like they're getting whipped.
Physically, yeah.
They're getting dominated. And by a team that people didn't predict to be, anything crazy coming into this year. Maybe Florida State ends up being really good. Who knows? But yeah, they were getting their shit pushed in at the line of scrimmage, and I've never seen that from Alabama. It was it's interesting to watch.
I think a lot of players they go to Alabama now and they think, I got it made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm at Alabama, I made it.
Yep. I think there's some rumors of some things like that going on.
Like that's the destination and not just a stop along the journey.
Yeah.
And Saban was great at de-recruiting guys once they got there. Like, hey, I know that we just pretty much sucked you off for the last 2 years. Now you're at Alabama, and we are going to make you think that your life is hell.
If Nick Saban was the head coach, there are guys who would have been kicked off the team for their performance on Saturday.
I don't disagree.
Effort-wise.
Don't disagree. It was a great weekend of college football. Great Saturday.
They all are.
Great Sunday. Bad Monday. Bill, I called it when he signed with UNC. College football is different.
Very.
It's a different sport. I know it's football, but it's there's a lot that goes into college football that you don't have to worry about in the pros, where you can just draw up complicated schemes and your players can actually fit the schemes and perform the duties required of them. In college football, it's sometimes not like that. If you just get guys that were transfers that didn't fit in at their old schools, but yeah, it was great to watch. And then we got Thursday Night Football tonight. Cowboys, Eagles. I'm excited to watch the Cowboys offense. Excited to watch George Pickens. Anytime you can see that, it's a treat. Excited to watch Brandon Aubrey kick field goals from like 60 yards.
Oh, yeah, me too. He's on my team.
Mm-hmm. Just excited to have a full slate going on this weekend. So I'm very, very pumped about that. Despite the fact that they've taken away our red zone. But also looking through the news today. In other news, Big T sent a bunch of stuff. There actually one more college football story. Devin Hester Jr.
Crazy.
Who?
Devin Hester Jr. is the kick returner for Furman.
I saw that, yeah.
And he took it to the house, but it's not Devin Hester's son. Well, it is a Devin Hester's son, but it's not NFL return legend Devin Hester's son. There's a different Devin Hester, named his son Devin Hester Jr., and his son is also really good at returning kicks. Kind of complicated.
Incredible.
Yep. So, yeah, just name your son Devin Hester Jr., and then they'll be good at return kicks.
That had to be on purpose.
Okay. All right, so I talked about this, and I was called a fool. I think, and to be named Devin Hester Jr., you obviously have to be named after your father.
Right, there was a coincidence.
Who's Devin Hester.
But it's not like he's not Devin Hester the fourth. It's not a family name.
Right.
This guy saw Devin Hester
Yes.
and said, well, absolutely, my kid's going to be named Devin Hester.
Thank you, Big T. I was called a fool for this take.
Who said that?
Big Cat, Max, Hank, Memes.
All right, well, look at the company.
You know college ball.
Yeah.
You live and breathe this stuff.
Yeah.
I think, and again, the only smoking gun I could possibly have, and I haven't gotten to the bottom of this yet, if Devin Hester Jr. has an older brother, that would just prove my case 100%. That their dad had a son,
True.
did not name him Devin Hester Jr., and then Devin Hester, the college football player, got popular, had another son, and that's Devin Hester Jr.
So this kid...
I think I may be Big Cat here. Where Big Cat and Co. Where is this dude from? Can we check that? Because if he's not from Miami,
Tennessee,
and he's not from Chicago, he's from Tennessee. See,
do you know that?
I believe he's from Tennessee. I want to say.
So if he's from Tennessee, he has no ties to being a Miami fan or a Chicago Bears fan. Devin Hester was great kickoff returner, but I don't know that he was like, name my son after you great.
I think he was. I think he was the best to ever do it.
No, he was sure, but it's such a small part of the game that it's like a blip of the.
I don't know. He was a superstar at Miami. He was like one of the biggest names in college football.
That's what I'm saying. I understand it, but if you're not a fan of Miami, that doesn't make any sense to name your kid after.
So this kid was born September 10th, 2005 in Chattanooga. So Devin Hester was still in college, which I do think takes a little bit out of our hypothesis.
A little bit.
A lot of it. So 2005, I was in college in 2005. When was Devin Hester in Miami?
05 was his last year.
See, I don't know about that, man. He would call to Miami, but I don't know if he was named kid cold in Miami.
I think he was. He had like Deion Sanders calling him up, giving him advice and mentoring him. He was a favorite for the Heisman that year, I think, as a returner.
He only had 6 kick return touchdowns in college.
What about punts?
Which is a lot.
Punts, too.
That's total.
Oh, that is a lot.
4 punt, 2 kickoffs.
And he had some...
Hold on, total his whole career?
In 3 years, yeah. I mean, 2 a year is a lot, but...
it's not name your kid a lot.
I agree. I do agree with that.
Okay, well...
But it's not, I'm naming my kid Devin Smith because I love Devin Hester. This guy's name was already Devin Hester. He saw there was a Devin Hester who was awesome and was like, I'm going to name my son Junior because he already has this name.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that I buy
Big
it.
T, look up Miami football's schedule for 2005 because he was born on September 10th. I want to see
Saturday.
I want to see if Devin Hester had returned kicks for touchdowns.
Good point.
In that season.
Okay, so they'd only played 1 game. They lost 10-7 to Florida State to open the season. Let's see if we can.
Not good. Not good.
How did Miami score? It was a Ryan Moore 34-yard pass from Kyle Wright.
Sounds like pretty good field position, maybe set up by Devin Hester.
Let's go see.
The year before.
Kick and punt returns. Devin Hester returned 2 kicks for 31 yards in that game and 1 punt for 3 yards.
Okay, that's not good. They only played
one
game
man.
by the 10th?
I don't know.
Yeah, September 5th.
So when was the second game?
Second
The
game
12th?
didn't play again until the 17th. They beat Clemson 36-30.
Okay, what happened in that game?
In that game, Devin Hester returned 2 kickoffs for 50. Oh, excuse me. They utilized another returner in this game. Devin Hester had 1 kickoff for 33 yards and 1 punt for 8.
I don't know, man.
Oh, his senior year was maybe his worst season. He only had 1. He had 1 punt return touchdown, and that was it.
But this was at the peak of Devin Hester hype. Was at the start of this year.
I think the preponderance of evidence leads me to believe it is more likely than not this guy named his son Devin Hester Jr. because there was already a Devin Hester who was famous, and the coincidence just lined up. And now that kid was destined to play football and return kicks.
Okay. I like that take.
I don't think it's between 50 and 60%.
Okay.
But,
I don't hate the take.
Yeah.
Also in the news.
Before we get there, I have a trivia for you baseball fans.
Okay.
This stumped me, an avid baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
As an expert.
As an expert baseball fan, this stumped me. And I want to know if y'all got it. If you do, and the other guy doesn't,
yep,
just hold your peace.
Okay.
There are 3 teams in the major leagues that have 3 letters on their hats. Name those 3 teams.
Okay, there are 3 teams that have 3 letters on their hats.
I have one off the bat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. These guys are fucking thinking. Wow, I don't know if you can zoom in on their faces.
One is super easy.
I've got one.
These
what color are they?
Thinking.
Black.
Oh,
black and white.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we have 2 then. Wow, good call. Yeah.
It's not easy. That's what.
There's a lot of 2s. A lot of 2
so
letters.
Many 2s.
You're sure there's a 3rd?
I'm positive there's a 3rd.
All right. So what's yours, Big T?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
And then you have the Chicago White Sox.
Good job. Now you guys put your brains together.
Okay, I have a guess.
Use your baseball knowledge.
Does Tampa Bay have?
It's a TB.
It's just TB.
Mm-hmm.
It's not TBR.
Nope.
Okay. Both New York teams are just NY.
Yep. Phillies 1, Pirates 1, Nats 1,
Braves 1,
Orioles Bird, Blue Jays Bird, Cubs 1.
Padres 2. Right?
Mm-hmm. A's 2.
A's 2. Dodgers 2.
Giants 2.
Rockies 2.
Rangers 1. Astros 1. There's not this is a trick question.
Kansas City 2.
Not a trick question.
Is it the Diamondbacks?
1. It's just an A.
Oh.
It's got.
That's a good guess though, because you never know.
Who's it? Twins 2.
Yeah.
It's got to be somebody in the AL Central that nobody thinks about.
Detroit 1.
Yeah.
No, Cleveland 1. Kansas City
2.
2.
Marlins 1.
Twins
2.
2.
There's no chance there's a 3rd. There's just no chance.
Wait, don't say anything yet.
I won't say anything yet.
Who's in the AL West?
AL West, you
Mariners,
have Seattle
1. Angels 1.
You've got the A's, A''S.
A's 1 or 2. We said Rangers and Astros. This is nonsense.
Okay, let's think.
You guys give up?
No,
I think he's full of
I
shit.
got St. Louis already.
All right, NL East, Braves, no. Nats, no. Marlins, Phillies, Mets, no. NL Central, we have the Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers is it 2?
With the glove and the hat,
it's an MB.
It's
2.
MB. There's no
No.
Okay.
Pirates, Reds.
All right.
NL West, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Rockies,
Padres,
Giants. AL East, Red Sox, Yankees,
Blue Jays,
Orioles,
Rays.
None of those. AL Central, White Sox, which we have, Twins, Royals, Tigers,
Guardians.
None of them. AL West, we're on the last division now. A's,
Mariners,
Rangers, Angels. No, it's an A.
No, I think it's
1A.
Do they not in their logo ever do LAA?
No. It's an A with a halo. And then Astros. We just went through every single team.
You would still be incorrect. Are you ready to?
Yeah, I give up.
You give up, Big T?
We went through every team.
Are you are you ready to get
Yes.
all you
Yeah.
mad at me? Are you?
If he says like an alternate hat, I'm gonna flip my
No.
shit.
It's not an alternate hat. It's just hidden, and it fucked me up too. It is the San Diego Padre hat. There is a
Oh
P
no,
in the
this is
middle
fake.
of
This is
the.
fake.
This is not.
No, I know
This
what
is
you're
not
in the
fake.
blank space. People claim there's a P, but it's fake.
It is not fake. This is they came out and said there is a P in the middle of the S.
That's fake.
It's fake. I'm
It's
looking at it right
fake.
now. That's
It's
a
not fake.
No, it's fake. The P doesn't
It's not
connect.
fake.
The P doesn't connect.
It's not
Aaron.
real. It's blank space.
It's not fake. It is a P in the middle of the
No,
S. and the D.
he's
Fake.
talking about right here at the
Oh yeah.
the
Correct.
bottom
Yeah.
the
You're
bottom left side of the D and the bottom of the S. And there's an opening. It doesn't connect. That's not a P.
It is a P.
That's bullshit question.
It's not a bullshit question. It is a P.
Before we get back to macrodosing, this podcast is sponsored by Kraken. If you're going to trade crypto, do it right. No sketchy platforms, no sketchy customer support. That's why we only trust Kraken. Kraken lets you buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos without the lag, without the crashes, without the clownery. If you're buying crypto manually, that's old school. Recurring buys let you automate your investments so you stack sats and you don't even think about it. It's DCA done right. Buy more when prices dip, buy less when they spike. Link your bank in minutes. Set it, forget it, let your portfolio grow. Kraken Pay has instant crypto payments. No more excuses. Whether you're covering a lost bet, splitting the tab after night out, or sending funds for the next wild adventure, Kraken Pay lets you move money instantly with zero fees, no banks holding things up. And refer your friends. Kraken will hook you up with up to $200 in USDG just for spreading the love. So quit waiting. Head to kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payword Interactive Incorporated. This podcast is also sponsored by Hexclad. Hey, Big T, what am I holding?
That is the take pan.
That's
Pot.
I've got pot in my hand right now. This is Hexclad. You can hear how durable that sounds. Resolution this year to hold the food delivery, cook healthy, and make your own food. Well, then do so with Hexclad. Hexclad products come with a lifetime warranty. They literally last a lifetime. Nothing like investing in your cookware, because it pays for itself, and you're going to be thankful that you buy a good set of cookware as opposed to cheaping out and then having to replace it once it starts scratching up. This is a great design. It's got the hexagons right at the bottom right here. Non-stick. This looks like it would be great for cooking eggs, this material. Not necessarily this saucepan right here, but I saw the saucepan earlier. It looks like a perfect egg pan.
Hexagon, by the way, most underrated shape.
I agree. There's a reason why bees use it.
Pentagon gets a lot of love. Octagon gets a lot of love. Hexagon gets left out.
It's durable. It's scratch resistant. It comes with a lifetime warranty. The patented hexagon design protects against scratches even when using metal utensils. Hexclad pans are toxin free. It's not just about pots and pans. Their knives are made of 67 layers of Japanese Damascus steel for a sharper edge that stays sharp longer for effortless slicing. For limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your order with this exclusive link. Go to hexclad.com/macro. Support our show. Check them out at hexclad.com/macro. Make sure to let them know that we sent you. Bon appetit. Let's eat with Hexclad's revolutionary cookware. Check them out today. All right, we got breaking news. Breaking news. President Donald Trump is alive.
Clap it up.
He's alive. It went pretty viral last week. People just started tweeting out that Trump was dead. Mostly as a troll, I think.
No, there were people that were very, very serious.
I think there were people that were reading the tea leaves a lot. I think there were also like a lot of people that were trolling and just hoping that it was true.
Like Tim Walz.
What Tim Walz did.
Oh, did you not see him?
No.
He was on stage at some, I don't know if it was a fair or whatever. He's like, and I know everybody's been checking their news the last couple mornings, and me too. I was pretty hopeful. One day, though.
Oh, he did say that?
Yes.
So, yeah, Trump still alive. His hand was all like bruised and swollen, and then he didn't do any media at all for like 5 days in a row, which is very un-Trump-like. So people were starting to speculate, like, is he okay? Is he all right? He is, in fact, still alive. The great headline on Politico, Trump denies he's dead. Pretty much open and shut case. You just have to read the headline on that, and you can get the entire picture. And then I guess it also was spreading because JD Vance talked about like what if he's ready to step into the presidency.
Yeah.
Which kind of added some fuel to the fire and some speculation. And then over the weekend, he posted a picture of him golfing with Coach Gruden, but they golfed like weeks before that. So everybody was like, what's going on here? But nope.
Had to get the film developed.
Still alive. Still alive. And also, Trump's been talking about his death a lot. Have you noticed that?
No.
Talking about how like he wants the Nobel Peace Prize because a lot of people say that he's going to hell. This would be a good way to get to heaven. That's what, if you could like end all the wars, great way to get to heaven. So he's had a couple things that he said that have made people like perk their ears up a little bit. And then you had all like the Twitter doctors out there that were looking at the bruising on his hand being like, yeah, that's from an IV or that's from an injection of something. So then they're trying to speculate what kind of treatment he was getting. Still alive though. Did you ever think he was dead?
No. You would know if the president's dead.
Probably.
It would be readily apparent.
Probably. Woodrow Wilson had a stroke, and then his wife was the president for like, I forget, what was that, 6 months, a year?
His wife?
Yeah, his wife kind of took over his schedule for a long time. They didn't tell America.
Well, we had another guy do that.
Then Joe Biden, yeah, just dealing with mush. It would be wild if Joe outlived Trump, though. That's what I was thinking when, like, if this is true and Joe Biden is like, I got the last laugh, Jack. But in other Trump dead news, the would-be assassin from Florida, the guy that had the gun on the golf course, didn't fire any shots, Ryan Wesley Ruth has challenged Donald Trump to a golf match.
And this needs to happen.
I agree. He said that if he wins, he can execute me.
Which would be must watch.
Yeah. Would you watch
the golf
that?
match and then Trump killing a guy?
Would you watch the execution?
I think you kind of have to.
As an American.
I mean, it would be pretty stupid in 50 years for your grandkids to ask you about when Trump killed the guy and you were like, actually, I didn't watch.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be a wild moment in American history.
Yeah. I mean, we've got his consent. There's no chance this guy can beat Trump.
Well, they're not going to take the match because the legal filing said a round of golf with a racist pig, and round is spelled R-O-U-N-G. He wins, he can execute me. I win, I get his job.
That's the best part. The terms aren't his term is not enforceable.
And then he says, "Sorry, hillbilly Vance. You don't get it, I get it." So I mean, this would break all sorts of ratings, right? This would be an all-time record for simultaneous views.
So the Taylor Swift podcast did what, 12 or 13 million in 24 hours?
Mhm.
How many people are watching Trump play his assassin in golf?
Hundreds of millions. Maybe
Because this would be an international. I guess the Taylor Swift thing was international too.
This would be the World Cup final.
I think like 150.
Because you've got people that are watching, so that like maybe Trump's going to win, rooting for Trump, hoping that he kills the guy afterwards. And then you have some guys that are watching, rooting for the would-be assassin to win and become president.
I mean, who in America isn't watching?
It would be your patriotic duty to watch.
Like, what else would you be doing?
Yeah, it's the biggest news ever.
That's why I don't understand how the Super Bowl, it obviously is the biggest television event we have in America. I don't see how there's anyone in America who doesn't watch it. What else are you doing? You have to go out of your way to not watch it.
Would you watch, Aaron?
No.
Not if it
You
was...
wouldn't watch Trump play golf against the guy who tried to kill him? You love golf.
I don't love Trump playing golf. He cheats. And then the end result is him killing a guy. Like, do you not know
Or
these
this
guys?
guy could become president.
Even stupider. That's no.
Not even if it's like packaged and presented with Jim Nance on the call.
Brought to you by Doritos. Fuck no. That is the most. No.
Oh.
I'm anti all of that shit, nigga.
They would sell so many sponsors.
Of course.
They have like shot tracer on every shot. You've got cameras.
Have you seen that movie? Have you seen that movie where there's this serial killer and he like ties somebody up and it's like he puts it out and he says, if this gets 0 views, nothing happens to this guy. But the more people that watch, the higher intensity of, like, I think one was like like UV lights or whatever. And then the more people that watch, it burns his skin and he dies. And so like if nobody watches, nothing happens to the guy and he's not a serial killer. But the more people that watch, you're complicit in murdering that guy. That's how I view that shit. No.
That's a pretty good premise for a movie.
It was a pretty cool movie.
You just gave me a good idea for a live stream. Not the murder part, but just like increasing punishment.
That should be an After Dark.
Yeah.
If nobody watches, Tate just sits there.
Mm-hmm. And he gets to do whatever he wants.
But the more people the people want Tate to be tortured. So
no.
Kind of.
No.
That's the purpose.
Lucas, if you're listening, just put this in the back file. Don't tell him where you got the idea from. I would watch.
Of course.
I'd want the cameras like on both the guys because they both try to cheat.
I played with a dude this weekend that cheated. Or not this week, yesterday.
Was it like a match for money between you guys?
Yeah, so it was 2v2 match play. And we usually have two rules. So when we either play 2v2 and then we'll have like a separate game called a taxman. And the taxman is if you don't break 90, you got to pay 20 to everybody that did break 90. So like say you're the only guy that didn't break 90, you got to pay 20 to each person that didn't break 90. And so we played the taxman and we played the 2v2. And I didn't even say nothing though, because like he just wasn't that good. Well, allegedly he is good, but he had a bad day. And I saw him, he was in the fairway. It was his third shot going in, and I saw him moving the ball around to get a like favorable lie. And I just looked at he looked up at me and I saw me see him, and I was like, whatever you need, dog.
I mean, that's worse. If you're not good and you're cheating, it's like, okay, this guy sucks. Whatever, let him be. But if you're better and you're cheating, then that's a bad look.
Yeah, I would have called him out because then it's like, hey, yo, that's a penalty.
Yeah,
and we play. So like when we play by the rules. Like the OG that I play with, he don't play none of that shit. I just let it slide because I'm like, y'all ain't gonna win anyway. It's whatever. But yeah, shot at 86.
Happy with that?
I think anytime I break 90, I'm fine. I just have a few things that I need to work out, man. I feel like I'm getting close, man. It's just annoying. Golf is so annoying, but I'm happy with my game overall.
Well, I'm happy for you. I've got an article that came out. This was actually a couple weeks ago. We didn't talk about it, but I think this is a perfect show to discuss on. The headline, this is on popularmechanics.com.
Okay.
Your consciousness can jump through time, meaning gut feelings are memories from the future, scientists say.
Okay. The scientists say I'm very skeptical about, but I'm interested in this notion. Tell me more, because I have similar thoughts for what I would deem to be logical reasons, knowing what I know about the universe. But go ahead.
Okay. So they say that there's a number of eerie accounts of precognition that have been shared with cognitive neuroscientist Julia Mossbridge. But it was her own experience with these strange psychic gut feelings that led her to study them in the first place. As far back as the age of 7, Mossbridge had precognitive dreams, she says. She and her parents were skeptical of them until she began recording the details in a dream journal. While she admits she's misremembered some of her dream visions, she's also been able to foretell events from the future that she would have had no other way of knowing. She says these memories from the future could mean the notion of time might not be as linear as we imagine. It's not hard to understand precognition, says Mossbridge, a senior distinguished fellow in human potential at the Center for the Future Mind and founder of the Mossbridge Institute. It's just hard to believe for people who haven't experienced it. We don't understand how time works. Even physicists are admitting they don't really know how it works. We're stuck on this idea that if you're truly scientific, you were going to think about time linearly, but is it really linear? A lot of the resistance to ideas about precognition and psychic phenomena is about fear. The fear of the unknown, or the fear that things aren't the way they appear to be.
Anytime scientists or researchers say that type of shit out, it's a red flag to me.
The red flag to me so far is the name of her title. Now, she has a PhD, but the name of her title and the place that she works. She's the Senior Distinguished Fellow in Human Potential at the Center for Future Mind and founder of the Mossbridge Institute. And her name is Mossbridge.
Naturally.
So she founded her own institute, and then she's like, yes, I am the founder at this institute.
So my red flag is when researchers or scientists, they'll say like the reason why science doesn't like is they're afraid. I hate that shit because that's not how science works. And like they're just like the scientists, the reputable scientists in the prospective fields, they always say the same thing. Just show us the data. Let us peer review it. Like it should be replicable if it's a solid hypothesis.
Okay.
And like nobody's afraid of, you know what I'm saying? That it would like you'll hear scientists all the time who have like a hypothesis that they have been working on their entire life or they have working on. It gets proven or disproven, and there is a lot of ego, but there's a lot of like, okay, we've grown from this, and that is what science is about. That's why I hate that shit.
There's another scientist named Dean Radin, and Dean is the chief scientist.
Oh my god, what a dope ass last name, Radin.
Radin, yeah, the chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Studies and Associated Distinguished Professor of Integral and Transpersonal Psychology at the California Institute of Integral Studies. And he says, in quantum mechanics, time may not even be part of our physical reality. It's not that time doesn't exist. It just behaves in a much stranger way than how it is seen through the lens of the human experience. It suggests there's probably something associated with our consciousness that's different from our everyday experience of time. It's able to jump outside ordinary experience and receive information from the past or from the future. While working at the University of Nevada in the mid-1990s, Radin created an experiment to prove it. His hypothesis was that if awareness transcended time, responses to an upcoming stimulus would appear before the stimulus itself. Subjects were wired to an EEG machine and then told to press a button on a computer screen to be shown a random image. This image would either be positive, such as a sunrise, or negative, like a car crash. The EEG would gauge brain activity within the 5 seconds between the prompt and the image. Predictions of seeing a positive image elicited little to no emotion, while a spike in brain activity meant that the subject had a feeling they were going to be shown a negative image. This experiment has since been replicated ad nauseum and echoed the original results, which were statistically significant. What about that?
Yeah, I think I've heard of the study before. I think this is the same study referenced in Sam Harris wrote a book about free will. And I think he referenced this study to argue against free will. But so the reason why like I kind of lend credence to like the initial argument is I was actually talking about with my mom last night about this. Do you remember when we were talking to Professor Brian Cox?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant physicist. And I asked him a question about time in the block universe. And he was like, yeah, that is a thing. And so in short, what it is like time being relative. That's what Einstein figured out with the general theory of relativity, like time being relative. Um time exists independent of your experience of it and relative to how you're moving it through the universe. So it can bend, it can warp, it can move. Time itself, which means it's like it's a thing that we're experiencing rather than like so I think the Newtonian understanding of time was it's a stage and we're existing on the stage. Whereas the more accurate way to think about it is it's like it's a block universe and it's like a what they call like a loaf of bread and we're existing like with snapshots within it. But if time is relative in our nows, like me and you feel like we're sharing the same now, and if we move in different speeds in different directions, our nows no longer align. So I may be my now may be in your past and your now may be in my future, but like we didn't stop existing. So the byproduct of that is the future is in existence and the past is also in existence. The past is still happening. We're just not there to experience it. The future is already happening. We're just not there to experience it. And so I've always thought about that in relation to deja vu. You ever get deja vu and you're like, shit, I know what's happening. I know what's about to happen. This is a very familiar place. I don't have any evidence of this, but this is always what I felt is as a human being, I feel like we're more, and why I don't really believe in free will, another reason anyway, but we're experiencing time and our consciousness is just experiencing it. We're not necessarily existing just inside. We're just like, it's like our consciousness is the vessel that passes through time.
Hang on. So you said the future is happening or has happened?
The future is currently happening right now.
And it's happening before our brains are able to perceive it happening.
Yeah.
Expound on that.
All right. So like a great visual aid. There's another physicist that did a really good visual on this. Brian Greene. Brian Greene did a really good visual on this. Okay, like let's say you're Big T and you're on the planet Earth, right? I am a alien in a distant galaxy, hundreds of light years away, hundreds of millions of light years away, right? Me and you, like the universe is like this. Let's just call it a sphere, and it has slices of what we would call now. Okay, are you following me?
Sure.
That's how time elapses, right? Now, right? And if we're on opposite ends of the universe, okay, and we just so happen to be sharing the same now, me, the alien in a distant galaxy, and Big T, we have the same now. We are in agreement that our nows are aligned. If I move in an opposite direction at a certain speed across that vast distance of space, our nows no longer align. And it could be, depending on how far we are apart, it could be that our nows misalign by hundreds of years in your time. So at one point in time, we agreed that we shared the same now. But because of how we move, how you move through space is how you move through time. Time is relative. If I move in a different direction at a different speed across that vast distance, our nows are no longer aligned, right? But that time in between didn't stop existing. I still exist and you still exist. So across that vast space, our nows could misalign by 150 years, for an example, right? So now my now is now 150 years in your past, and your now is now 150 years in my future. So the past is still happening and the future is already happening. Our experience of it is what we view as now.
So you mean the literal time itself, not necessarily what's happening during it.
That you can't
But so you would, for instance, in 20 years,
okay,
say I have a son who's 15 years old. Whatever he does in 2045 can't happen unless he exists.
Theoretically, if you do have it, he already does.
See, I don't see where you're getting that from.
Okay, so do you understand when I say space and time are the same thing?
Right. So that's why I clarified. What you said makes sense if you dissociate the time inherently from things happening during it. Right? Like if you are able to accelerate at the speed of light or whatever and come back and it's been 100 years, I understand how you get that from the literal equation of how fast you can travel and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand where you're getting the, like, when you say the future has already happened, there are people who don't exist yet who will be part of it.
That's your that's your experience of now. So
but it's not even my experience. It's people who haven't been born.
That's what I'm saying. You're now. Okay, so like if it's to an infinitesimally small degree, so we'll never um recognize it or feel its effects. But like if you travel around the world for at a certain speed 7 8 times, your internal clock is different, and you have aged in a different way. So your now has slowed down in relation with somebody else's now who has been on earth. So your now, or is it sped up? Is sped up. So your now is different. So time has elapsed differently. So if you experience time differently, that means your nows are no longer in alignment. So what you're experiencing as well, they haven't existed yet. It's something that you haven't experienced yet. It's not to say that it hasn't happened. It's that you haven't experienced it happening.
I see what you're saying. I just don't think it makes a ton of sense.
I'm not saying that. It's what our physical reality demonstrates. It's like it I would say the majority of science is counterintuitive. Like it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel, because me and you share the same. Every time I see you, you see me, right? But if we experience time differently, like even when I say that, you could probably understand the words, but unless you like feel it, it probably doesn't hit like that because it's not your norm. It's not, we all experience time. What we feel is linear. It just, you wake up, you go to sleep, you go to bed, and everybody experiences that. But that's not necessarily the case. Time is relative to how you move. And that has insane consequences to reality, or what we think reality is.
Yeah.
That's
What
I can't even follow a lot of it, but I think I understand what you're saying. I think I understand the gist of it.
Right. And I'm not a physicist, but it's why I asked Brian Cox that. And anytime I talk, I asked Neil deGrasse Tyson that when I interviewed him, because I was trying to understand it in a certain way, and I think I have a good grasp on it. But again, I could be wrong, but this is what I understand it to be. Like I know time it's a very weird thing. Like like we we have like this very rudimentary understanding of time as human beings because we experience it. But like when you start to think about it, like if I was to ask you what time is, you couldn't tell me what time is. It's weird. It's a very weird thing that, like, if I was to tell you that time bends, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about? That doesn't make any sense. But time is malleable. It moves, it bends, it stretches, it's elastic, it's malleable. And that doesn't make sense to us because you're like, what do you mean? It was an hour ago. But that notion of an hour is our experience of an hour on this planet, and us being the creatures that we are. What we understand about time and how time actually affects our universe is a very big gap. Um, it's insane. Like the fact that, so like this is what blew my mind the most, right? And why I loved like studying this shit. Time is why we feel gravity. It's why your phone, pick it up and it drops. Like it's because of time. Space and time are the same thing. And I'm nerding out, I know, but like space and time are the same thing, and it warps like mass and matter. Mass warps space and time, and that's the effect that you feel about gravity. Like, so a Newton's law of gravity, right? An object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by another force. So if I throw a shoe out into space, it'll keep going, and if it gets caught in some gravitational field, that's what you're feeling. You're feeling the mass of an object warp space, which is time. It warps time, and the shoe will get caught in that gravitational field, and that's what we experience as time. And the notion that time can bend is insane. It's wild, but it's why we know it's a very hard concept to grasp, but it's why we know Einstein is synonymous with genius. He figured this shit out just by thinking about shit. Go.
That is pretty crazy that one guy just sat down and was like, and
Oh.
then came up and was like, I've got it. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm. one of my favorite things that he thought about was, okay, if he thought about catching up to a beam of light, right? So if you were to get the reason, like if you look into a mirror, for instance, and you see your reflection, it's just natural and normal, right? But if you were going at the speed of light, light couldn't bounce back and you couldn't see your face. You wouldn't be able to see your reflection. That shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is insane. And also another one is like, so light is the same speed no matter what speed you're going. So I could be going 99% the speed of light, and I can measure a photon or a beam of light, and I would measure it the same as if I was standing still on Earth. Same speed everywhere. It's like the benchmark of how we measure things in the universe. Fascinating shit. I know it's a little probably boring to people, but I fell in love with that kind of shit. I just read a whole bunch on it.
I mean, it is interesting, and it's I know there's a lot that we don't know about time still, that we don't really understand, and how like the possibility of different timelines and infinite universes and all that shit plays in. I'm not smart enough to understand any of it. I just know that I would like to try to replicate this experiment by just showing somebody two teams and just get your instant vibe off it, and then like using psychic abilities to pick games.
I mean, that would be a good experiment.
Maybe you knew, like your subconscious knew when you were playing, like, hey, hit this hole. Aaron, don't go that way. You're like yourself from the future, like in Interstellar, being like, no, don't go to the right.
An interesting fact is every time I got a concussion, every time I got dinged, I had deja vu every single time.
Really?
I don't know if I've actually never asked anybody that. So, PSA or was it a PBSA? Asking other NFL athletes or hockey players or whatever it can be, if you've ever had a concussion, have you also experienced deja vu? That's how I knew I would have a concussion, because I would get dinged and immediate deja vu.
Like how far back would you go?
What do you mean how far back?
Like I guess deja vu doesn't really imply like when you flash back to.
So my experience of deja vu has been, there's a moment that happens, and for about, I don't know, 4 to 5 seconds, I am uber familiar with everything that's going on. Like I can almost, and it's almost, you start like, this is about to happen. Okay, that happened. This is about to happen. You can almost guess what's happening while it's happening. And it could be, it could be just like your distortion of, your reality is off. And so your distortion of time is off because your head has literally been in a traumatic, it's traumatic like brain injury. So it smashed up against the wall of your skull, and that could be like distorted. And so like you could just be experiencing things later than they're actually happening. That could be the case as well. But I've also had deja vu when I didn't have a traumatic brain injury. And so, but I noticed over the years that I'm talking about from when I was a child to an adult having concussions. Every single time I had deja vu when I got a concussion.
Big T, you ever have deja vu when you're watching Falcons games?
I generally expect it going in, so it's not really a surprise when it happens.
Yeah. So if you're a professional football player or a Atlanta sports fan, let Arian know if you've ever experienced that. That would be a good episode of Macrodosing. Deja vu. Yeah. So we'll collect some of the stories. Maybe put a clip out there asking for people to share their stories of deja vu, and we can do some research on it as well. That sounds like a good episode for next week. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Oh, and we'd have like a neuroscientist on. If there's anybody, I would love to have that conversation.
Yeah, if you're a neuroscientist listening to this podcast, hit us up. There's got to be one of you. If so,
one, why are you listening?
Or
if please don't operate on me or my family. But two, shout out to you for listening. You're doing an important job. I hope you're good.
Or if you know one, holla at them. Be like, yo, got some boys and gals that want to talk to you. Chop it up.
That guy, is it Chris Nowinski? Is he the guy that is the head of the Brain Institute? Is it Boston University Brain Institute? He's the one that the NFL has sent a lot of, or not the NFL has done, but families of people that used to play in the NFL have sent brain samples to this guy to study. Former professional wrestler. He might be a good person to talk to about that. All right, well, we've got a great interview. Bobby Bones joins us live in studio, and he was great to talk to. He's a listener of the show. And then after we get back from Bobby, we had our researcher look up some of the wildest morning show stunts. And not to say that Bobby is the type of show that has done some of this stuff that we're going to be talking about, but since Bobby was coming on, I wanted to just look back through radio history and see what the craziest morning show stunts that people have done have been. Because growing up, if you listen to like morning drive time radio, it was a battle for ratings all the time. So they were always pushing the envelopes, and we got some pretty good stories to discuss after that. But before we get into Bobby Bones, he is being brought to you by our great friends at Shady Rays. I've got my Shady Rays right here. Sunglasses season still upon us. I'm going to put them on. You know the moment. I've experienced it. The moment when you realize that you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at a gas station 3 states away. I've been there too. I had one a couple months ago, left them on a plane. I got off the plane. I was walking through the airport. You can't go back onto the plane. Once you go through that tunnel, whatever you left in your seat, you're going to have to talk to the airline about. It's going to be a whole process. But then I found Shady Rays. It changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life. Seriously good-looking, polarized, durable, not stupid expensive. And the wild part is if you lose or you break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on the boat, whatever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. I love Shady Rays. They're my favorite sunglasses in the entire world. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take advantage of that deal right now because I did leave a pair of Shady Rays on an airplane, and I really liked them, and I would like to get another model of those. So I'm going to reach out to Shady Rays, and I'll get another pair. It's that easy. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code MACRO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people with Shady Rays. And now here's Bobby Bones. Okay, we welcome on a very special guest. It is Bobby Bones. Bobby Bones, Macrodosing, a Macrodosing listener.
It's my favorite podcast.
I love that.
Of all podcasts. It's like I saw Mickey Mouse a minute ago when Mad Dog came out to get me. She's like, I'm Madison. And it's like you go to Disney for the first time and you see the mouse in person. Yeah. You're like, holy crap. And I played it cool. I was like, hey, I'm Bobby. Really nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. But inside it was like, this is real.
Yeah.
That's so
There's a
crazy.
2-hour line of adults waiting to shake Big T's hand every day. Yeah.
I did want to give you, we can just do this off the bat. I have a quote here from you. I wanted to give you a chance to expound on it. I'm a big T guy.
I'm a big T guy.
You
Yeah.
can just take that wherever you want.
Yeah.
Good question.
I think with this show, I think this is why I love this show so much. It literally is my favorite podcast. Like Tuesday and Thursday is first thing I listen to. And I go in, and my job is really early. It starts at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And so when it gets posted, I start it in the morning before I go in. There's no telling how much stuff I inadvertently steal from the show, honestly, because you guys talk about really,
Nice.
we do a culture-based show as well. And so go in, listen every morning, listen on the backside of the show, and I feel like all three of you represent a part of me. This is going to sound so geeky, but just let me have it for a second. Big T comes from where I come from. Like a lot of your sensibilities are that of mine. I'm from a rural town in Arkansas, population 700. And so I'm also a massive SEC guy. I'm a big Arkansas guy, like die hard. And how you talk about your life and your sensibilities, like I feel that. I have a lot of the belief system that Arian has. And I feel like when Arian talks, because I went through a lot of, especially in college, because I grew up hardcore Southern Baptist, but then I was exposed in college for the first time ever to Socrates, Aristotle. You go through, just walk through all those, and I was like, oh wow, I may not have been right about everything.
You got to open up a philosophy store.
It scared me.
Yeah.
I was scared to death by things I had never been exposed to. So when Arian talks, a lot of times he says things that I feel or didn't even realize that I felt yet. And then obviously the way that you conduct the symphony is excellent.
I gotta like balance it out sometimes,
Yeah.
but then sometimes you gotta know when to just sit back and let these guys yell at each other for a while.
And it's also like you're so likable while also having an opinion. It's a very hard line to walk, to be likable and also step in and actually have something to say and not just sit in the
Call
middle.
that call that riding the fence.
I don't think so. I heard you guys say that a couple weeks ago that he rides. I don't think he's riding the fence. I feel like he's trying to put the show in the best place possible to succeed and
give my opinions when necessary.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my geek out version of like this is my number one. I like this show better than my shows.
Well, I appreciate that, Bobby, and it's ironic because I listened to you on the air for a long time when I lived in Austin, Texas,
which is like my favorite city.
Yeah, it's a great city. I still go back there a lot. It's changed quite a bit, but I still have a lot of love for it. But I used to listen to you, and I would actually wonder like how you get up in the morning to do a radio show. That's to me because I thought for a long time when I was in college I wanted to be like a morning show, essentially like what you do. That was like my dream job at that point. And then I realized, oh shit, you got to wake up at like 3 a.m. sometimes 3:30. How do you even like are you able to watch like sports the night before? I know like it's. Sometimes
no
you don't
West
have to
Coast
watch all
sports.
the games.
I don't get to watch any of the Fresno State games.
Yeah.
So no West Coast, but yes, some. But at this point too, like it just sucks, and I never feel good. So it doesn't matter if I feel terrible or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to watch the end of a game, I'll watch a game. But where it got difficult for me was living in California for a bit because I would go over and I've done a couple TV shows. It's like that. I would wake up when I was doing Dancing with the Stars, I'd wake up at 1:30 in the morning to be on at 3 over there, do that, and then go and train all day. So it's tough. Never get used to it. That part still sucks.
Yeah. So you mentioned Dancing with the Stars, and Mad Dog McKenzie kind of freaked out and looked at each other back there. So you're Dancing with the Stars champion?
I won, yeah.
So what do you get when you win Dancing with the Stars?
Well, you get a mirror ball.
Okay.
And I have it still, and I value it because by the way, I'm not famous. So like I just straddle that line of like being known in certain parts of America.
You've got a good sized diehard fan base though.
I would I think that's
like
accurate. I won the show and it wasn't based on my dancing. So they told me after I finished the show that I could have taken a dump on stage and still won at the votes. And it was controversial. They changed the rules after I got off the show because of how I won the show. Because good people kept getting kicked off and I kept staying. So they changed the rules where they could save people based on my appearance. I was terrible. And the show was awesome and I had a great partner. And you get a mirror ball and you get money. Like week 1, they don't give you anything because everybody moves to week 2. Week 2, you get 10 grand. And then it bumps up to like 20 grand a week. And the last 2 or 3 weeks is like 50 grand a week. Mm-hmm. And so it ends up being, I think I ended up making like $400,000 because I won. So that's significant.
Yeah.
But you really don't get to you don't get a ring or anything. That'd have been, I guess I could make my own ring.
Yeah, make your own ring, hang a banner.
I'm hated by the hardcore fans of that show though. Like it's really the place that I'm trolled the most.
Why?
Because, and I loved it and I've not spoken ill of the show and it was one of the greatest experiences, but I've never danced. I only went on there because I was on American Idol at the time. I did like 4 years on that show and they said, hey, would you come promote Idol on Dancing with the Stars? Nobody that has never danced wins. You'll be off in 4 weeks in time for Idol to start. I cheated in a way that I would go and train by myself. They let you train for 4 hours and that's it. I would go and rent a studio by myself and just put tape up for another 4 or 5 hours, which I guess you're not supposed to do by the rule of law.
Well, they don't own your life.
That's what I said.
When the cameras are off.
Exactly.
It's like, Aaron, J.J. Watt liked to stay after practice and get some reps, and we saw that on Hard Knocks, right? Everybody on the team was like, what a great leader he is.
Yep. I remember those days.
I wasn't leading though.
Yeah.
I was alone. I was alone in like a weird part of California. Felt uncomfortable just being there. But yeah, I'm not. It wasn't a warm embrace by the audience of that show.
So what about American Idol?
So I'm looking. I've never seen your Dancing to the Stars.
Don't watch. I prefer you not.
I just pulled a couple up and. They make a strong case, man.
Yeah, I agree. I subscribe to their case.
Man I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that feels like a show you could have gone on at some point.
I got offered.
Really?
It's one of the greatest losses of my life that Arian wasn't on Dancing with the Stars.
For me, it's Yellow.
I killed that shit. I could bop.
I can't. That's the thing.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Why'd you turn it down?
I wasn't interested. Like if you tell me, yo, Naked and Afraid, I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, I'm doing Naked and Afraid.
So how did that go with American Idol? Were they like after 4 weeks? Were they like, hey, we need Bobby? When's he gonna lose?
Yes, and they had to make a decision at network to go, do we take him off the show? And at that point, I was so invested physically. I fell on my week 1 dance. Mm-hmm. I'd never finished the dance ever, even in practice. I was so bad. I'd never, and I got so excited at the end of me finishing the dance. I started jumping up and down. Dance shoes are slick at the bottom. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wipe out on camera. I tear my shoulder. I go to the Titans trainer back in Tennessee to go, hey, what can I do to stay in this? And he's like, it's just a pain tolerance thing. And they would shoot me up. And so it was almost like I was Arian. Every week, getting shot up and going into the game.
Give me that Toradol.
Yeah. So
Toradol, cortisone, what'd you get?
Yeah, cortisone.
Cortisone's the like that's the real stuff.
Yeah, people were saying they shouldn't shoot me up as much as they were. But it was kind of easy in LA because it wasn't affiliated with the show or the network. I want to say that. But you could get a doctor to give you anything if you had money. It was crazy.
Yeah. So it's been a crazy ride for you too. And one thing I always liked about your show is you keep it interesting with the cast that you have, but I don't feel like you ever push it over the top towards like the stupid controversial just to be controversial bits that a lot of morning shows did. And a lot of we talk about some of them today, like the distances they'll go to either one just like intentionally fuck with the program manager. That's like the oldest trope in the book, right? Which I'm sure sometimes you do have beef with people who are your boss in the radio industry, but sometimes just doing offensive things just for the sake of being offensive to get listeners. I always felt like you had a very authentic vibe going with your show. How intentional have you been in terms of choosing who you're going to work with and who's a good fit on the show?
I wish that my intention was to hire good people, and I say that we didn't have any money when we started. Like I had no money; they didn't pay us. When I started doing mornings, I remember when they gave me my first contract, it's $50,000 a year. I thought I was rich.
Yeah. What was your first gig?
Ever or in the morning?
Just first radio show.
In Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Okay.
Making like $7 an hour, like $19.99. Working part time while I went to college, and I'm a trailer park kid, so like I was okay being poor because I was always poor. So the motivation was never money because I never had it. And so once they paid me $50,000 a year, I thought I was rich. I was like, I'm set for life, ready to go. But they wouldn't allow the show to have any money. So I just brought in my friends who'd work for free. And so that's still the group that I have. They've been with me 18, 19, 20 years. It's all the same people that came on and worked with me for free. Then they do well now.
So you haven't brought anybody else in new. It's that same group?
It's the same group. I mean, there's been a couple people, like my best friend Eddie, who he's been with me now for 15 years. He's here today, but he was doing television at the time. So when I moved to Nashville, I was like, hey, do you want to come and do our cameras? And he's like, yeah. So that's really been the vibe. And I think that's why we've been successful. It's like put good people around you.
Yeah.
And that's what's made me good. We never really chased controversy because I didn't feel like I was talented enough to dig my way out. Now, I got fined $1 million by the FCC. That sucked. But it wasn't for like me cursing or anything. It was for an EAS alert that I shut down half of America by pushing.
Right.
That was tough.
It's a very funny story, though. Can you explain what happened with that?
So it was the World Series and in D.C., and we were on in D.C. specifically. It was the year the Nats had won it. And it was like Game 5 or Game 6. It was a home run. And in D.C. specifically, they hit the EAS alert tone right when a home run was going out. And I was like, who does that during the World Series? Like, you should schedule your EAS alert to test it in a non-World Series hour.
Yeah, agreed.
So I was doing this throwaway bit, super corny. And I was like, what if a lot of, because we don't play a lot of music and we just talk.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, what if a lot of like America's big moments were interrupted by EAS? And I was like, one small step. So I was doing like really famous moments. The audio that I pulled was readily available, but apparently, and I had to get deposed for hours and hours. Apparently, the EAS tone still had some of the actual tone that was used by the government at that time. So once that tone starts, it locks down other tones in other cities. We had shut down like 7 cities because we started a tone that still triggered radio stations and television networks. Detroit, Atlanta, all these cities were shut down. And what I didn't know, one, that I opened it up, 2, that you have to let it finish because when you finish, it unlocks it. I didn't let it finish.
Okay.
So all these stations stayed locked up for hours.
That's kind of funny. Unintentionally. Like, that's a very funny thing to stumble your way into.
Now I look back and I'm like, hilarious that I got out of it. But yeah, I didn't do anything that led me to think I was going to be doing anything to get in trouble.
How does that work when you get fined by the FCC? Like, is that a personal fine to you?
Luckily, the company paid it.
Okay,
it was
that's
like
good.
1-point-something million. I was worried they were going to make me pay it. But then I thought if they're going to make me pay it, I don't have it. so they ain't going to get it.
And also, would anybody want to work for that company?
Yeah, I mean,
If maybe you'd have to pay. I mean,
it was tough. That's a tough one for me.
It's a hard lesson to learn because I don't think there was any way for you to know that if you had done that. You
No
were
idea.
locked up. You essentially took America's airwaves hostage
in
by
like
mistake.
11 cities by accident for hours.
Yeah.
And I remember on ATTUverse, that was one of the cable. It shut down the entire ATTUverse. And everybody's screen went to turn to channel 5. And this is like when SARS was happening.
Yeah.
And so everybody was waiting for like an alien invasion. But yeah, that was me. And it sucked. And got out of it and came out the other
It's
side.
like, was it Black Sheep where Chris Farley walks into the bank and goes, "This will only take a moment," and everyone just ducks on the ground, throws their guns away.
And that's what
Not
it felt
trying
like.
to rob the bank,
Yep.
but you kind of did.
It's kind of like War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
It was kind of like World of Worlds, except that it was expensive for me and real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world wasn't ending,
That's true.
but we thought it was for a second.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy ride for you. So what's your future look like? How long is the show going to go for?
It's just changed in so many ways. Like I do that show every morning and it's awesome. It's my favorite thing to do because it's long form, right? And the digital footprint of the show is now massive and probably surpasses what the linear version is. But it's just allowed so many other things. Like I do a podcast now with Matt Castle, the quarterback for the Patriots. The NFL hired us to do an NFL show. And like that wouldn't happen if it weren't for the success of like the radio show.
Yeah.
Like even the television shows. Like I've had a couple TV shows that were mine that did fine. They didn't do great. They did fine. Like that stuff wouldn't happen if it wasn't for that show. So as long as they'll continue to, let me do it and it continues to grow. I mean, it's fun. I still love it except for the morning part.
Yeah, the morning part would be really tough to settle into. So have you become a morning person or
No.
just every morning you're just like this?
It sucks every morning.
Yeah. What's your regimen? How much caffeine are we rivaling like Dan Campbell?
None. Very little.
No caffeine.
Yeah, I'm almost Mormon, except I'm not. Like, I'm not Mormon, but all the elements other than the religious part,
Okay.
I'm pretty Mormon.
All right. That's pretty cool.
I'm
I
the
guess.
most Mormon, non-Mormon I think you've ever met.
Just good, clean living.
No alcohol, not a lot of caffeine. Occasionally, if I want to taste it, but it also like something.
How many wives do you have?
Like I said, 3.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Well, they're big
You
on
can do better.
soda now. They
Oh,
just
they
can't
are.
do hot drinks.
I remember whenever I think it was BYU when they started to offer soda, everybody had freaking sodas at the games. Like people had like 6 of them at football games.
Have you seen they have a donut at their football games? It's called a cougar tail. It's like a 3-foot long donut. It's incredible.
I have not. I do love sweets though. They don't do a lot of sugar, so I probably would be kicked out of the church for that.
Yeah.
Big T, have you seen the new nachos that they have at Air Force?
Yes, awesome with the B2 chips.
I got to get some of
Yeah.
those. The B2 chips, it's inside of a B2 bomber.
Yeah, it's sick.
That looks awesome. Big T, I know you had some questions.
Well, I've got
about
a whole list, but you mentioned that you grew up in a Southern Baptist church, which interests me a lot because I did also. And that actually, I think, led me away from church for a long time. I was not a fan. I went to a church camp as a kid. It was in South Georgia in the middle of July. You weren't allowed to wear shorts. You had to wear
pants in the summer.
I actually went to an independent fundamental Baptist church, which you can look that up if you want to. It's even stricter than Southern Baptist. I was just curious, like your experience with that, because I'm a Yankee now. I don't meet a lot of people who grew up in situations like that.
For me, I grew up, my mom had me at 15, and so she was a drug addict, and she ended up dying. I didn't have a dad. So church was a place that had some stability, and that's, I think, why I was drawn to somewhere that had stability and food. And I knew 3 times a week I'd be able to go there, and there would be the presence of somebody who could help me make a decision. And so church was excellent for me in that regard. My youth pastor there was awesome. So that was a wonderful experience at Mountain Pine Baptist. I went to the mall and witnessed, hey, do you know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I went to church camp. And I think all of that stability is what led me there. I think within the church, as I got older, I would see the people that were screaming the loudest being the worst. And that's what turned me off from the idea of, hey, church is right. I think everybody has a relationship with their version of church or their religion or their faith. And I think that's kind of where I've gravitated to. And I think that's the modified version of me, is I saw a lot of people that were leading the way outwardly and publicly, really not being a leader inwardly and privately. And that is what turned me off to the idea of this must be right because you were always told it was right. But yeah, I grew up, I had an awesome system considering I had no system at all. And that's what church was for me.
Mm-hmm. I agree that a lot of people, they use the church as a way to gain status or like leverage or power in whatever community they're in. And sometimes the easiest way to do that is to be like, well, I'm actually more religious than you are. And then implicitly you're looked at as that leader. And in reality, you're just looking to gain notoriety or leadership roles or things like that. And it kind of conflicts with actually what you're supposed to be learning, teaching, and practicing in the church. So I agree with you 100% on that.
And in a small town in Arkansas, I would imagine the Baptist church is the best place you could possibly be in terms of status.
And we were the JV Baptist church. It was Harvest Chapel. They dominated. Had all the good teams, all the church
went to
teams.
a Harvest Baptist as well.
Yeah, so they rocked over there. So I didn't quite go there. But yeah, it was somewhere that I felt like I could go, and things were bad a lot, and they took care of me, and I love it, and I value it for that. But that's my relationship and thoughts about it. And we still go. I live right next to the Remnant Church now.
Okay.
You know, on HBO?
Yeah.
The one where she crashed the plane?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, we live like 5 minutes from that place. Did you ever watch a documentary on that?
No, what is this?
It's where she was lose weight and go to heaven, and then she ended up crashing in the plane into the ocean and dying.
No.
It's a wild
Oh,
story.
it's a wild documentary.
This is in Nashville?
Yeah, it's like 5 to 7 minutes from my house.
Crazy story.
This is the first I'm hearing of
There's
this.
going to be a documentary.
Remnant?
There's going to be another documentary that comes. Every time something interesting happens, there'll be like a wave of a documentary that'll come out on like Netflix and then HBO Max.
Yes.
And then like Discovery's going to do one too. Then there'll be a
I think
podcast, like a 9-part series on it.
Her name is Gwen Shamblin.
That's it. And it's called
Yeah.
The Way Down.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You watch it?
I did not watch the documentary. I got sucked into it when she died, and the rabbit hole that entailed.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So this is right near Brentwood Baptist Church. I'm very familiar with where that is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the new catfishing documentary on Netflix.
It's
Have
on
you had
my
a chance
list.
to watch that? We got to talk about that probably next week. I have a lot of takes to get off my chest about that whole situation, but it's wild story.
I watched the Finding the Boat one because of you guys.
Oh yeah, what do
Yeah.
you think happened?
Kind of Occam's razor of, I think she probably fell off the boat. Like,
Yeah.
if it were gambling odds, minus 110, she fell off the boat. Minus or plus 110, she probably was trafficked. It's close.
Yeah,
I think the odds are that she probably fell off the boat. But it's weird. Like, I thought the guy that was in the military was like, I really couldn't say this because I was at a brothel. I thought that was interesting. He was like, she was there, but I just want to get in trouble and say I was there.
yeah. Why would he make that up? And then the guy that was on the beach that says that he saw her, that was like, okay, maybe she did. But again, I tend to agree. Like, it's probably more likely than not that she fell off that ledge. She was drunk going home at like 4:30 in the morning. I get a question for you about something I distinctly remember that you did when I was living in Austin, and it fascinated me to watch it happen in real time because it kind of took over the city that day. Was when was it an intern that ran a marathon with zero training?
It was my co-host,
It
who's
was-
still a co-host now.
Who?
His name was Lunchbox.
Oh, it was Lunchbox that
Yeah.
did it. Okay, I forgot who did it. So he was talking shit about marathoners, right?
He's like, anybody can do it. Nothing to it. And I was like, okay, well, let's go get it. No training. And he ran it. Almost died, but he finished it.
That
And
day. So were you worried that he was going to die?
No, because I was stupid. Like, we robbed a store once by accident. He went to jail. By accident. It wasn't on purpose.
Uh-huh.
We just did a bunch of stuff without the intention of being stupid. It just turns out we were stupid. And
Yeah.
that was one of them. And he finished,
Well,
and there was an ambulance
How
there.
you accidentally robbed a store?
I'm glad you asked. Thank you, Arian. So
Yeah.
I had watched this black and white show on PBS, AETN. I don't know. AETN was like the local version of PBS. Fun PBS, by the way. Fund, F-U-N-D, not fun. And on it, this guy was putting a pantyhose on his head, and he was like scaring people. And I was like, that's funny. Like, I haven't thought about that since I was like 9. And so the next day I said, hey, Lunchbox, go into the gas station, just buy gum with pantyhose on your head. And he did. And the guy hit the silent alarm, and the cops arrested him, put him in jail. It made national news, and they held him. He got charged with terroristic threatening.
I mean, that's dangerous to do in Texas.
It's terrible to do anywhere. I would never do it again.
Yeah.
But the intent wasn't, I'm going to go and scare this person, which it did, and I wish that wouldn't have happened because I don't like that they were scared. I just thought, I wonder what would happen if you just bought gum legally with pantyhose on your head. Turns out I found out what would happen.
Mystery solved.
He
yeah.
went to jail.
He went to jail. Yeah, I mean, in Texas, you're liable to have a cashier with a shotgun behind the counter.
And we're lucky that did not happen.
Yeah.
What's the recourse if your friend has you do something that leads to you going to jail?
None for me. I learned it the easy or hard way. Whenever...
No, but I mean from him. Like, did you buy him a nice gift?
We were just happy we got to keep our jobs. And he was just happy I kept him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no nice gifts. I think we both were just like, let's just go try some stuff. He wouldn't have done it if he didn't think, not that it was a good idea, but that it would be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had that. I've been sued a couple times, but never for I'm going to purposefully like mess with people.
Yeah, I could see Mincy doing something like that, like talking Mincy into walking into a store with pantyhose on his head.
You familiar with Ben Mintz?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'd be a good guest on your show, I think.
Yeah. Big poker player, didn't do so well.
Yeah.
You almost won it.
Yeah, I came in second. I was actually happy to come in second because the guy that won, he I don't know really what he does for money now. I know he tries to play poker, but $30,000 to him is like, it's huge. So he's a poker player. I was happy that I held my own, that I made it to the final two. I just don't know what is a good hand in poker. I mean, I know
I saw the straight.
the straight was tough because there are a lot of people that were accusing me of doing a bit that I didn't know that an ace could be high or low. I've always played that an ace is high all the time. So yeah, hand up. I didn't know that one, but I didn't know like if a pair of twos was a good hand to go in on. Like I know that you should go in on hands if like there's a difference between there being 6 people at the table and the hands that you bet on, and there being 3 people at the table, and I have no idea whatsoever. But I think I did a pretty good job reading people and figuring out when they were bluffing, when they might have something that could beat me. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun playing poker. I think we were also. Maybe some of the traditional poker players didn't like the fact that we were just doing a lot of table talk at the time. But yeah, it was a good time. There's too much math though.
Well, I was going to ask you, what were you, when you were 9 years old, what were you good at?
When I was 9 years, that's a good question. When I was 9 years old, what was I good at?
Because I feel like that's the age when people start to celebrate you for things. And
Yeah.
Arian, I don't know if you had grown and if at 9 you were already a superb athlete. I don't know when that happened for you physically, but like at 9, you start to go, oh, I like the adulation I'm getting for whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder around 9, like what were you guys good at?
At the age of 9, I think I was good at baseball. I was good at basketball, believe it or not, Arian. I wasn't short when I was 9. That was the big thing. I was like the completely normal, average size human being for other 9-year-olds.
Were you the same
Still
height?
trash at basketball.
That's very funny, Big T. Yeah, I was pretty much. No, I wasn't 5'9" when I was 9, but I was like
Probably about what I was.
the complete average size young boy. So sports to me was like the big one, and then yeah, besides that, that's about it. I just all
you're
I
a
thought
very
about when I
smart
was
guy.
all I thought about when I was 9 was sports. Just like when are the Braves playing tonight?
When did it click for you that you could actually use your brain to make money, make a living?
That probably didn't. Well, I thought that I could do it when I was in college. Like I said, I wanted to be a morning show host. That was like my dream. I worked at the college radio station there. I worked there for 4 years. My freshman year, they didn't have any openings. I was like, I will work whatever shift you guys have. And they're like, well, we don't have anything scheduled in our block between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on Saturday mornings. They just left that like dead air. And I was like, I don't care. I'll take it. So then my freshman year, I didn't really go out, or sometimes I would go out on Friday nights. But for the most part, that was like what I was doing with my night. Was I got a 3-hour block of air that I'm gonna fill up. So I did that for 4 years. Got fired the week before graduation. So they kicked me off.
Were you getting paid?
No, but
So you got fired from a job you weren't getting paid for?
Yeah, they kicked me off the air the week before graduation, even though I'd done it for 4 years. And I just did it because one of the other station managers didn't like me and didn't like what I was doing with the show. And so I was like, this is so fucked up that I spent 4 years doing this in like the worst time slots ever. But then we had enough listeners to the point where me and my friend Pat, you might know him as the Beeve, we figured like we could try to do something in comedy. So we started writing sketch comedy, and that's what took us to Austin originally. And we thought maybe we can get paid some money to do this. That kind of dwindled off for a little bit, but then a couple years later, I just started tweeting and blogging, and within like 6 months, somebody was like, "Hey, I'll pay you $20 a month, or $20 an article if you want to blog for me." And at that point, I was like, "I'm quitting all my other jobs. I'm somehow getting paid for this. I'm gonna just see how good I can get at this, and maybe it'll lead somewhere." But like you said, I also told my boss, I was selling software down in Austin. I said, I got to quit because if I can make $50,000 a year writing about the NFL, I'll be happy for the rest of my life. And to me, that seemed like a whole bunch of money. 50 grand to like talk about sports and write about sports. Hell yeah, sign me up. So that was probably the first time that I thought, okay, it's a possibility that I can get paid money to do this.
I think it was the greatest gift to me and I used to resent it, but it was the greatest gift to me that I grew up with no structure, no money. I was a food stamp kid. lots of drug abuse in my family, but it was the greatest thing to grow up in once I got older because it allowed me to be free to chase whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
There was no comfortability that I was needing to maintain because everything was wide open.
Yeah.
And to me, I look at that now as such a gift that, I then some, not than all. Like I've been in places where I'm like, man, these people have it a lot worse than me. I used to think I had it the worst.
Yeah.
Then you get travel around and you're like, oh, you didn't have it so bad.
I agree. Like it does provide you with. I didn't grow up like you did, but I didn't have a lot of money at all growing up. But it's the same thing where it's like, I don't need to be rich. I've experienced like not having that much stuff. I can do that again. Like at the end of the day, worst case scenario, I just live in like a small house and I don't have that many toys and I'm going to be happy no matter what. But it's kind of liberating to think that way.
Hey, Aaron, can I ask you the question about being 9 years old?
Yeah, I think by 9 I was pretty good at football. Like, more so than the average kid for sure. Actually, yeah, at 9 when I was like, all right, he definitely gonna do something. Yeah, I was just an overall athlete. I think that was just kind of my refuge from what was going on in my house and track, basketball, baseball, like. I was a pretty athletic kid.
It's funny you use the word refuge because that was books for me. Like I was a pretty funny kid, but I'm going to read every book because that's going to get me out of here. Like I didn't have a bedroom growing up, so I slept on the couch in the living room and I stacked encyclopedias under and I would just read them going, if I read enough, I'm going to
have the green ones?
Yeah.
The green with the...
And and the thing about them too is they would be at the grocery store when you walked out. So I'd save up and I would buy like A and then BA to BI.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that young, like trying to read them. And for me, like that was the refuge. In the way that you're talking about sports, like you need hope that you can get out of the situation. And for me, I just read and read and read. And
sports and Tupac was that for me.
Yeah. For me, it was just reading books and Quiz Bowl. Oh, I dominated Quiz Bowl.
Yeah,
as good as you were at sports, I was a 7th grade captain of the 12th grade team.
Were you?
Let's go. Yeah.
Quiz Bowl?
Yeah, Quiz Bowl. Quiz Bowl. It was just a
Quiz-
trivia. All schools.
BOWL.
Yeah, accent. Sorry.
Quiz Bowl.
Quiz Bowl. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry.
So we had a similar thing in Virginia. It was called It's Academic, and it was Quiz Bowl essentially. And I was on that team. And once a year, you would get invited to participate in like the TV show taping, which was on NBC4 in DC. And so I went there with my team from Herndon, Virginia, and we were competing against like I think it was like DeMatha and Sidwell Friends. And Sidwell Friends, that's like where the president's kids go to school. And DeMatha is another very like exclusive private school there. And these guys had like trained for years watching tape of the show and knowing what questions they were going to be asked before they were even asked. And so they were just buzzing in after like the second word. I think I know we came in last place. I think it was by like a record. If you've ever seen like Wolf Blitzer on Celebrity Jeopardy, where he finishes with like negative 36,000 points, that was my team. So I thought we were pretty good, but we got our shit pushed in big time on television.
Can I ask you that question, Big T? I want to know your 9-year-old.
At 9, I was convinced I was going to play Major League Baseball. I was awesome. And then by about 13, I was like, I should probably learn how to talk about Major League Baseball. And so then I focused on doing that.
Do you remember your first take?
No, I mean, I was always just kind of like, my friends and I would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, there was just once I reached high school, I was like, I should get good at talking about the people who are good.
Yeah.
At sports.
I remember my first take. Christian Laettner's an asshole. My dad
you
told
were
me
really
that.
out on an island.
My
with
dad,
that.
I was watching Duke with my dad, and he goes, Christian Laettner's an asshole. And that was the first time I'd heard that word. And then I was hanging out with my grandparents who lived in North Carolina, and I was like, Christian Laettner's an asshole. And they were big Southern Baptists too, and they were like, where did you learn that word? And my grandma Mimi made me wash my mouth out with soap after I said that.
How is that?
It sucks. I've had it too.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
I feel like you'd get arrested for that now.
Now maybe, yeah. In the South, it was celebrated.
I don't know if liquid soap's better or bar soap. This is bar soap. It was like the green, was that Irish Spring? I think it was Irish Spring. Don't recommend.
Liquid got to be worse.
Yeah.
Mine was bar, so I don't know. I don't have the reference.
Yeah.
Can we talk about country music?
Sure, whatever you want.
Because I think we might be running out of time. But so you talked to one of your heroes, Brandon Walker, today, and Brandon's like this, and I think now that I think about it, Arian's like this too. People who really like country music up until like 2005. And then Arian, I think it's even long before that. You're more of like a 60s, 70s country guy. But like 80s, 90s, people love it. And then like this century, it stops. I love all country music. As someone who's like intimately involved in it, what do you think about old country music, new country music? How there are a lot of people who don't like new, and I think it's awesome.
So I got a bit of a nuanced take on this, and I come from the perspective of I grew up in rural America, Arkansas. I had country everywhere. It was also in the 90s when alternative music was big. I've also signed to record deals as a hip-hop artist, as a rapper. So I'm in all these areas that I've personally lived, and so I have an appreciation for different kinds of music. At a level more than just listening, I think, right? Because I've dedicated a part of my life to it. So if people ask me about country music, the first thing that I'm drawn to are the people that talk about how things aren't country music. And there's a lot of haters of, well, that's not country music now. And my answer is always to that, do you understand where country music came from? And they're like, yeah, the South, the people in the cowboy hats. It's like, well, that's not actually accurate. It came from Europe and Africa. Like, that's how we have the fiddle and the banjo. So if you're going to go, that ain't country. I'm not talking to you, Big T. I'm just saying this.
I understand.
Okay. If you're going to say that ain't country, what you're talking about is not country music. Because unless you're talking about the fiddle and the banjo coming from Europe and Africa, that's the origination of country music that ends up coming to the part of America that we know now as kind of the country music hub. And throughout time, there have always been artists who have pushed it to the point where that became the new norm. Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. You're talking about black and white days on television. That's how I relate to everything. Mm-hmm. They amped up a steel guitar, and people rioted. That's not country. Obviously, it's country. Garth, who I'm lucky enough to know well, he talks about how in the first 7-8 years of his success, it was constant that what he did was not country music. It happens at every level. So the constant pushback has to happen or the format doesn't grow. And I think that happens everywhere in art.
I agree.
I think that happens in all aspects. It's not just a country music thing. So I have to look at it just because I don't like it. I have to macro it, not micro it. Because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not valued as country music. I think country music is an authenticity thing more than it is a sonic thing. It's a story thing more than it is. I have a bunch of friends that are pop songwriters. They just write to a melody. Like they'll come up with a melody and just go, let's just find some words that fit the melody. Mm-hmm. That can't be country music. That's kind of the antithesis of what country music is. I like some of the new stuff. I don't like some of the new stuff. I have like one of my friends is here with me now. His name is George Burge. He's in the building. He's got 2 number ones in the last like year. And so, but he's kind of new country music. And some people are like, I don't know, that's not. And it's like, yeah, that's now country. Mm-hmm. So I love it all. And I hate a lot of it too, but that's okay. I mean, that's my really weird answer on that.
I think a lot of art, just a lot of life is like that. You, once you turn like 30 or 40, you start hearing the new stuff that's coming out. And you're like, you know, the stuff when I was young was better.
And I think it's now because the 90s.
That's true, though.
But here's why. I know. I feel the same way. But I think the answer is we now get to dictate the narrative.
Yeah.
Us at our age, once you get to be like 27, 28, and you get to have control of things, media, people are reading what you have to say. You get to say what was cool because more people are listening to you. And now our age is saying the 90s in all capacities. If it's Tupac, if it's Pearl Jam, if it's George Strait, it was the best.
Yeah.
Once we age out, it's going to be 2008. Whatever. So I think
I disagree. I disagree. Here's why. When I say things, music was better. I've reiterated this on the show before. But when I say music is better, I don't mean my era. I don't even think my era, 90s, early 2000s, is the best era in music by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's like 60s, 60s, 70s. And the reason why I say that is they don't make music like that more is because like some of my favorite artists are like Stevie Wonder. Some of my favorite artists are like, Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, or, those kind of the Motown sound, like that whole stuff. The reasons why is because they curated music in a very, they were still trying to top charts, but their goal wasn't necessarily for an algorithm, right? Their goal was to connect with people. And they did that with like a very, I think a very innovative way, how they used to do the quality control sessions. And they used to sit there with a bunch of A&Rs and musicians and say, okay, do we like this? Do we not like this? That's not how music is curated now. Now music is curated for how can I get a trendy dance? How can I become viral? How can I do this? And it's very streamlined and it's very microwaved. And so I think how we consume music is different now. Like if you just say, yo, the new whoever it is, hot new artist just came out with an album, you're not necessarily, unless they have a very curated fan base, you're not necessarily gonna hear about how they have a good album, right? It's gonna be what's the hit song, what's the hit record, what's the good clip from that? Did it go viral? That kind of shit. Where back in those kind of days, it was you sat with the whole album and it was a vinyl and you flipped it and it was beautiful. But like now, it's just not the same. One of my homeboys, I'm gonna get off my pedestal, but one of my homeboys changed my mind on this because in the hip hop community, we've had this argument for years, right? What is hip hop? What isn't hip hop? What's the difference between rap and hip hop and pop and all this stuff, right? We've had this argument for years. And I used to be like a super hip hop purist, where it's like if you're not super lyrical, if you're not having like some deep message in your lyrics, I was like, you're pop, you're rap, it's the shiny suit era, right? And then one time he stood up and changed my mind on the spot. And he was like, I'm so sick of this bullshit. He's like, I'm tired of y'all treating hip hop like it's just a little box. It's just in this little box. If it don't fit in that box, then that's not hip hop. He's like, hip hop is a tree and it grows and it has branches and it expands out. And I was like, you know what, though? You right. I'm treating hip hop like it's a box. And I stopped treating music in general like that. And so like when I hear the conversations, I hear a lot of it like that. When my mind used to be like hip hop is this thing, but it's grown, and now hip hop is. I don't know if it's still the number one genre in the world, but it was at one point, and I've let go of the notion of what I loved about hip hop, and it's like it's for the world now, and some of that shit is for me, and some of it ain't. Just kind of like you answered, but
yeah, I'd like to meet you because I agree personally with everything you said. Like my favorite time in music, probably late '60s, because I think there was a reason to make music. I think when you have a reason that you feel compelled to spread a message musically, I feel like the music gets better. I think there's been a lot of technology and there are different ways to consume music. But I would meet you and say, I personally agree with you. However, there are caveats to that in that I think now, and a lot of people say, well, the algorithms, there aren't gatekeepers like there used to be now, back then, even in the 2010s. I think so. The advantage of now doing music, like a great thing about now doing music is there's not a guy in a suit going, not for me, because he's in a bad mood or doesn't understand. You can now be the guy in the suit or the woman in the suit, whomever, and make your own way where you are undeniable, maybe to that person, or you don't need a person. And I think that now, that freedom to do that is the greatest part about music today. Do I think a lot of it's corny? Yeah, I do. For that same reason that you said, that you're just chasing trends. But not everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
The things that are the trendy things that pop.
Yeah, it is. The barrier of entry is so much lower now. When I was growing up, I was in a high school band, and I remember we scraped together like all our cash from the fall. We worked odd jobs, had some money. We're like, okay, we can finally afford to get like a day and a half of recording studio time. We go to this guy's basement, and it's just, he's literally living in his parents' house. There's a cat that's shitting in the middle of the room as we're recording. We pay like $400 for a day and a half of his work. And that was like, it was very hard to just get like 3 songs recorded. Now you can record, if you've got 3 songs, you can do that in an afternoon. It's so much easier to do. So I think that there's a greater quantity of good, solid, original music coming out. But I still think there's those problems at the top where it's like, okay, we're going to put the force of a major label behind promoting this one artist, and then it becomes like too polished and too like all wrapped up and less authentic. But I do agree that like it's so much easier, and you get a wider variety of people making music than ever before, which I really like.
I don't disagree with that. I think the only pushback I would give on that is that you're right in the sense of it's easier to the barrier to come in the game is easier, but in the same sense, you're forcing artists who are, if you're a real, like, I don't say real artists, but like most like artists that we know and love, they're kind of like socially awkward. They're not necessarily good at communicating why their music is good. And so it kind of forces them to be marketers of their music as well as creating it. And that to me creates a very gimmicky environment to where it's like you're doing everything you can to get noticed rather than letting the art speak for itself and letting those marketing experts do what they do. And that creates a very odd place to me. It's like I've seen artists speak out about this. I'm like, Doug, I don't want to fucking sit here and this is the song of the summer. I don't want to do that shit. I just want to make art. And I think that's where like where we're at in society where art. I don't believe money should be in art ever. I think art should be subsidized. I think money in art ruins it to the nth degree. But that would probably be a whole nother conversation.
I'd be broke then.
Yeah, I
Still.
mean, that'd be
Like, I'm very thankful that art pays.
No,
Yeah.
I said I think it should be subsidized. Like I think it should be subsidized.
by the government.
Like, you only get so much.
I think as a society we should subsidize art. Like if you look at any fallen civilization, what is the two things that we take from it? We take their technology and we take their art and probably their culture, right? So maybe three. But those are the things that we look for from fallen societies. When you look at the ruins of a society, those are the three things that we look for. And why is art so important? Is because art develops culture. Art is a part of our culture. It is a mirror, is a reflection of how we are viewing ourselves. And that is so important. And so when I hear a lot of like, conservatives, they like bang on like the $1 million spent on museums or art museums or whatever it is. Yes, that's where our money should go. It should go to art.
It would be very funny though if
1000%.
like
we should spend way more money on art.
if every president was in charge of subsidizing whatever art they preferred. And to just see the ebbs and flows in America, like what Obama would subsidize, and then Biden would get, and he probably like, we're giving all our money, we're doing yacht rock again, guys. Hope you like Steely Dan. Get ready to learn the Eagles, brother. And then I don't know.
Hey, no Steely Dan. There'll be no Steely Dan slander in that motherfucker cold.
Do we know what kind of music Trump likes? I feel like maybe he strikes me as a Sinatra guy. Like
I think he does
crooner.
like Sinatra. When he did the golf thing with Bryson, I think he was playing Sinatra.
Oh, on the Bluetooth?
Oh.
Yeah.
In the cart? Yeah, he strikes me
Goat.
as like, what?
Sinatra, one of the goats.
Oh, GOAT.
Yeah.
I feel like at one point he would have been a Springsteen guy. Not anymore, obviously.
Not anymore.
But I feel like at one point, regionally,
Before he read the lyrics.
that would have been. Yeah.
I think now
he
he's
was
just whoever likes him. Like now he's Kid Rock,
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a couple country guys too, I think that
I'm sure.
Aldine, Kid
golfs,
Rock,
yeah,
those
Aldine,
guys.
yeah. Oh, Aldine, yeah, try that in a small town.
Mm.
Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
That was that was a very funny day online when Try That in a Small Town came out. I think we ended up writing a song that never saw the light of day on Part of My Take. When we dug a hole, it was called Try That in My Hole. We got to unearth that. We got to take a look at that at some point. Bobby, anything you want to plug here?
I'm good. I mean, I do a NFL show with Matt Castle called Lots to Say. Check it out. We get paid by the NFL. It's pretty cool.
Love that.
I got two rapid fire.
Okay, rapid fire. And then I also want to hear if you have any NFL takes you want to get off your chest.
Who do you want Arkansas's 3 permanent opponents to be?
But now, selfishly, I'd love for it to be Oklahoma because my wife is from Oklahoma, and it makes sense because
might
regionally
be.
they're super. It won't be.
It'll be Texas.
We're going to get Texas for sure. They're trying to make the Missouri thing happen.
I think it will be Missouri.
And I do too, because they're fighting for Missouri. And they've kicked the crap out of us, which sucks, because they shouldn't. We've been in a downturn. So I think it used to be Tennessee, which was fun. Whenever you were our constant in the East, that was awesome. But I think it'll be Texas, Texas A&M, and Missouri if I were to just pick based off of the people that I've talked to in the office.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant in Nashville?
There's an Italian restaurant called Luogo. We own it, part of it, so that's a plug.
Okay,
That's
that's
good.
good.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
It's a great
It's
place.
excellent. Yeah. I want to
Great
not be
place.
honest about it. Yeah, it's excellent.
The most al
fair.
dente pasta in the world. The hottest bread in the world.
It's chef's
Yeah,
kiss.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, so do you have any NFL takes you want to get off your chest?
I got a couple.
All right, hit me.
I think this is going to be one of the greatest years in Travis Kelce's NFL career, and here's why.
Okay.
Because
You said
he
the
knows greatest. Yes, he knows that if he doesn't play well, it's all going to go back on Taylor, and he's got to take up for his woman. Because if he does not perform well, it's going to be year 2 of the distractions, the TV shows, the engagement. He is going to get that all the time, and the number one thing that a man like Travis Kelce wants to do is look out for his woman. And he knows by having a great season, that protects his woman from the secondary hate that she's going to get because people are hating on him for being with her.
I kind of like that take. It's jumping back to the high school days. He's going to have that feeling, I'm dating the cheerleader. I got to go show off for her out there. And also,
He doesn't feel being mean to her either because
Right.
if he doesn't perform well, it's her fault according to people that don't know ball and that he's older.
yeah, I think
I'll take that bet.
I think he's probably going to retire at the end of this season.
Oh, I don't want to bet it. That's just a take.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No,
I'm not putting my money where my mouth is. I'm just saying words at this point.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a good take. I don't hate it. I also think that if he's smart, he'll give maximum effort this year because after you get married, like being unemployed the second that you're married, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough situation to handle where she's like going off on tour. She's going to work every day. I'm sure he'll have some stuff that he's working on too, but it would be nice for him to have to at least wake up in the morning to an alarm and be like, I got to go to work too, honey. You know, I think that would be a good dynamic. So who do you have in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I think you would think the Chiefs finished below 500 with how people talk about them now after they just went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was a down year for him.
Yeah. Look, we were there. We went to the game. It was pretty awesome to just be at a Super Bowl. I never thought in my life I'd get to go to a Super Bowl. So it's crazy to go and see it. And yeah, they did get spanked. But they made it to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. So it's not like they had a bad year, but according to the population of America, the Chiefs suck now. So I think you don't want to motivate and inspire somebody like Patrick Mahomes by telling him he's not good. So I'm going to go Chiefs in the AFC. I don't want to repeat. So you know what? The Cowboys are going to be bad. I think I'm going to go with your boys in Washington.
No way.
I'm going to go with your boys. You got me on record here.
The Commanders and Chiefs?
Yeah.
Man.
You see Eckler's number 1 on the depth chart, right?
I did see that, and I'm bummed because I'm a big Bill guy. I like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I do think that he's going to get some carries. I think that the depth chart gets thrown out there, and they're like, okay, here it is, look at it, but it's not going to influence who's getting more carries. I think it'll be like an even split week 1 between Merritt, Eckler, and maybe, I actually think, what's his name, Rodriguez is the other guy
the
to
Kentucky
watch.
running back?
Yeah. I think he's gotten really good, but just hearing somebody pick the Commanders in the Super Bowl without it being an obvious joke it brings so much joy to my life because I've never gotten to experience that. So thank you for that moment, Bobby.
I keep waiting to see Jane Daniels broken, and he doesn't break. It's crazy.
Knock on wood.
What, too skinny?
Yeah. I mean, it's watching him play, and now I'm convinced that he's game. He's just going to play every week. How does he do it?
The thought does occur to me, what if what we saw last year was a complete mirage? And he just sucks now. He's just not good at football anymore. I know that's very unlikely to happen because he looks so
they
good.
studied him for the last 4 months and they didn't do that during the season?
No, it's a more irrational fear than that. Just that he just doesn't know how to play football anymore. Just that he's not good.
So he's like in Major League when he can't throw the ball back to the pitcher. He's got the yips, football yips.
Yes. That's my life as a sports fan, with very few exceptions in Washington, D.C., but especially for the Commanders football team, Redskins. You're always waiting for that second shoe to drop. And so, yes, in the back of my head, in my deepest fears, I do think, what if he just forgets how to throw? What if he can't run? What if he's not fast anymore? Those thoughts occur to me, and I know they're irrational, but it does make me smile hearing somebody pick him for the Super Bowl.
Are you going to Knoxville for any games?
I think Oklahoma.
Not Arkansas?
I was talking about Arkansas, but I think you think they got a chance in Neyland?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So, how would you feel, hypothetically, because Sam Pittman, he is the coach at Arkansas, and we don't talk about another man's job, how would you feel about a combo of John Gruden and Coach O?
Okay, so I like Sam as a person.
Great guy.
I actually love him. Have a relationship. I'm a big donor. NIL, I played a freaking concert. We sold out a place, gave all the money. Before that was the thing. I was like, how can I help? And then I make money now. And it's cool to just go, I can buy baseball cards and I can pay to NIL. It's awesome.
So since you have that relationship, I don't want.
I'm fine talking about it. No, okay. I don't care. There's nothing awkward here. Do I think he's the future? No, I don't. Not anymore. I think we after the Chad Morris era, because listen, Lane Kiffin almost took that job. There are some things that happened because Lane Kiffin was taking that job. There are some things that happened that kept Lane Kiffin from taking that job last minute. Sam Pittman came in, was a fundamental building block in making Arkansas football fair game for the next coach to come in and succeed. And I think it's probably about that time. What I hope happens is he retires at the end of this year. And we go and maybe we go down to SMU. Get on Rhett Lashley. He's a former Arkansas player from Northwest Arkansas. Maybe we get him. Gruden, he's put out the breadcrumbs. He wants a coach in the SEC. I don't know about that combo, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
But I like Gruden.
Just as an outsider, I'm not involved in Arkansas football, but I did also have a conversation with Coach O, and he said he would be interested in listening to Arkansas if they were to ever want to call him. So that's out there.
About which job?
About head coach, D coordinator.
Yeah.
He wants to get back in coaching football.
It's probably not at Arkansas as the head coach.
Yeah.
But I appreciate him thinking of us.
Could be an incredible O-line coach.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But if you change your mind, just know that phone is going to pick up the call.
If my mind changes.
If your mind changes
Yes.
somehow. All right. Well, thank you, Bobby. We'll let you get to the yak. You're going to do the gauntlet. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, you guys keep up the good work. I don't say stuff I don't mean because I say so much stuff. I don't know if I'm ever lying or not, so I just don't lie.
Okay.
And
That's good way to handle being on
Yeah,
radio.
because I do so many shows now that it's like I stopped lying a long time ago for the sake of entertainment because I can't remember all the lies.
Mhm.
And so I don't lie anymore because someone says, "Did you say this?" I'm like, "Do I feel it?" Okay, then I probably said it. This is my absolute favorite podcast.
Thank you.
A plus. Again, every Tuesday and Thursday. Again, both Madison and Mackenzie and all of you guys. Like A plus. Thank you for being my friends that didn't even know me. And it's hard because I have people that say the same to me. Like you have no idea, but you feel like you're my friend. And I feel like that about all 5 of you guys. So I appreciate you for what you guys do. So I'm serious. I hope this comes across as authentic.
Thank you. And listen to Bobby Show. He's a legend in the game, a titan of talk
I'm,
radio.
Like I'm a 40s, man.
You're a titan.
I'll take Titan because I'm rich now.
Yeah,
That's what's awesome.
Are you a mogul?
Yeah. I'm Titan now because I'm rich.
Yeah.
But you're like the same. Like you got rich from.
Be careful. He doesn't like when you say that.
I had to get used to it. I know. I had to get used to it too because I was like, oh, I'm not relatable anymore. But you know what's relatable? The truth. And dude, I'm a food stamp trailer park kid. Like no chance to get out of where I come from. Population 700, and like I have a lot of money and it's awesome, and I can buy all the baseball cards and I donate to NIL and I help out a lot of people, and I bought my mom a trailer and some land before she died. Is my first thing I ever did whenever like I made money, and it's awesome. And I want to be the example of what people can do because I wasn't supposed to be here. And so as a fellow rich person that wasn't supposed to be here either, like that's awesome, and like I'm super proud for you.
Thank you, man. Well, I'm proud for you too. And
I'm proud for me too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you. Last thing I'll say, because I know you're trying to get rid of me.
No, I'm not. I just want to make sure that you have time.
Here are the 3 best things about being rich. Number 1, I have batteries in my house all the time.
Yeah.
Like in packs.
Yep.
I got a big ass like briefcase. They call it a battery daddy.
That's it.
Stocked, man. Stocked.
Like anybody that grew up with no money knows what it's like to go to a clock or remote to find batteries to put in something that you need batteries for. That's number 1 on the list. Number 2 on the list, the greatest things, buying 4 tires at once. Because back in the day, it was like, I can get 1. I don't know, maybe I can get 2, but I don't really need 4. This one's not as bald.
They're expensive as fuck.
Yes,
too.
buying 4 tires at once with parentheses, a nice refrigerator. It's in the same category there. And then number 3, like I got like 4 different AirPods.
Yeah.
I just buy them now. I'm just like, I could use some AirPods. Lost the other ones. I don't even think twice about it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
bad about losing AirPods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Just like you're in the airport, I'll just stop by.
I have another.
You're the guy that goes to the kiosk before you get on the flight. Yeah, you know what? Here's
not?
$250.
Yeah.
I left
not?
mine at home. Now I got 2 pairs.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Keep up the good work, and yeah, I'll be listening.
All right, thank you, Bobby. Bobby Bones is brought to you by Part of My Cheesesteak. It's cheesesteak season. Part of My Cheesesteak is serving up the ultimate game day fuel for football season. Loaded cheesesteaks, tenders, fries, popular desserts, all delivered right to your door. If you're watching the game or you're just craving some late night eats, ordering off our menu is the best play call that you can make. We're talking big, overstuffed cheesesteaks loaded with steak and melty cheese, hot, fast, and ready to crush cravings. Go to partofmycheesesteak.com, use code PMC20, and score 20% off your order. Partofmycheesesteak.com, promo code PMC20, get 20% off your order with Pardon My Cheesesteak. All right, I don't know if you had a chance to look through any of the morning show stunts that I sent over to Arian. Sent those over this morning. But just touching on a few of them, and shout out to Bobby Bones. Bobby, if you're listening to this right now, thank you for listening to the show, and wish you the best of luck. I hope you did well in the gauntlet today. Did anybody check?
No, I wasn't watching.
I think he did. I think he did just fine.
I'll have an answer for you in a minute.
Guy like Bobby, he steps up. He performs. I was always fascinated listening to morning talk radio when I was growing up. Aaron, were you ever a radio guy?
I was never a radio guy.
What about like a radio show in your town that was like, it felt like it was the biggest show in the world, but it was really just for Albuquerque?
The only radio experience I had was when we was growing up. We used to. That's how we would get some of our songs. So we used to like, this is cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Like if a song played on the radio, you would wait till it played, and then you would press record when it came on, and it stopped when it came on. That's old school. That's early Napster days, before Napster. That's how we would get some of those songs. I remember I did Will Smith, just the two of us. I got that shit so perfect, though. And then the only other one was so I used to try to call in like late night and then try to get your little dedication to your little shorty you was messing with. It'd be like, yo, this one goes out to, Charlize, man. This song goes out to you. And then they would say, hey, this one goes out to Charlize. Here is I don't know, Boys to Men.
Delilah. Do y'all remember Delilah? I believe she was a nationally syndicated
Was she?
radio host. Nobody knows what I'm talking about?
I'm not familiar with Delilah's game.
There was a woman named Delilah. She was on like at night, and she was like you're calling in to dedicate this song to your wife. That's so beautiful. I know she was national. Y'all need to look up Delilah.
Aaron, how many different girls did you dedicate Casey and JoJo to?
I actually never got picked.
Really?
Yeah,
probably
I
because they
never
were
got
like,
to.
there's a 9-year-old calling our show.
But no, line was always busy. Like I always attempted to do. I never got picked. Maybe I'll do that. I got a little special somebody in my life right now. I'm gonna call a local radio station and be like, yo, this one's for you, baby girl.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
very romantic.
Also, Big T, she is nationally syndicated. Nighttime radio host Delilah.
Estimated
Wagwan
8
Delilah.
million listeners.
Wow.
No, Delilah was big. I can't believe none of y'all.
She looks like someone that has a nighttime radio show named
If it was
Delilah.
when you were a kid, it was after our time when we were
Right, but it wasn't for kids. It was.
What was it for? I've never.
It was a radio call-in show where people would call in and dedicate songs like to people that they loved or whatever. It was like a love thing.
Oh, I never did. I never did like national radio. It was always like local radio stations. So I think when I was growing up early, it was 97.3 Kiss FM in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I think there was one more 106.3. Yeah, those were the two hip hop stations.
We had a Kiss FM too in DC. Had WPGC. We had 101.
Fuck, we owe PFT.
DC 101, 99.1 HFS. That was my jam.
Yeah.
But I would do the same thing where you put your cassette in because you want to, like, there's a new song out and you want to record it so you can listen to it later. And you try to pop it in. So then every time you listen to that song, you also get like a little 5 seconds of the DJ be like, right now on 99.1 HFS, we got the new track from Sublime, What I Got, the reprise version. Kick it. And sometimes they would talk over the intro of the song, and then they would stop talking right before the lyrics kicked in. And I used to hate that. I'd be like, you made me miss the entire intro because you were talking about the weather, dickhead.
Yeah.
And now I have to listen to what the weather was like in March for the next year.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good times.
So this was actually, I think this is the origin story of wacky morning show bits. It was a guy named Peter Tripp, and it was 1959. So this is like way back when disc jockeys actually, they had records that they would play. Peter Tripp pulled a stunt. He said that he was going to stay awake on the air for 200 hours nonstop. Again, do not send this to Lucas as an idea for a Barstool After Dark stream for Tate. Do not. He tried to stay away for 200 hours doing his regular show. It was a charity drive, so he did it for the March of Dimes. Tripp was in Times Square, and he did his entire show there. And as he was doing his show, people could come by. They could pledge money. They could donate to the cause. You know, like, what do they do? Thon? That's the dance marathon thing. So kind of like that, except for this guy Tripp, and he was just broadcasting nonstop. So he also brought along sleep scientists to study him, to make sure that, one, he was safe, that he wasn't posing a threat to himself or others, that he wasn't losing his brain, and two, so they could administer drugs to him to keep him awake. So he was, I don't know what drugs they were putting in him. My guess is a lot of caffeine, probably some stimulants, probably some of that Air Force meth. I don't know. So they were keeping an eye on him, and the researchers, they had multiple, so it wasn't just one person staying awake with him. That would defeat the whole purpose of it. So he did his show. So when he was on the air, he was pretty good throughout the entire course of it. But then once it went to a song or if there was like a commercial break, he started freaking out. So after 100 hours of staying awake, he couldn't do any of the tasks that they were doing to monitor. So they would have him say the alphabet. They would have him do basic addition, like 1 + 4. He was unable to get through the alphabet, and he couldn't do any very easy math problems. And then he started to hallucinate after 120 hours of being live on the air. He had a hotel room booked so that he could just shower real quick and change clothes. And he started to hallucinate the room catching on fire. And then it kind of led one thing to another. After he started to hallucinate that, he thought the scientists were plotting against him. And then he thought that they were framing him for a crime. And then a scientist came to get him out, and he thought that the guy was an undertaker and was there to either kill him or just bury him alive. And he ran away. He did stay awake the entire time for 200 hours. He got drugged for 66. The last 66 hours, he was drugged for it. And then he slept for a full day afterwards, 24 hours. And he claimed that he was fine after he caught up on sleep. But then he got fired within like the next year or two. And his wife broke up with him. They got divorced. And some people blame his experiment that he did on himself, his stunt, for going nuts at the end.
Sure, it didn't help.
But I think that was probably it probably got massive ratings. And so then every other DJ was like, we got to think of something like this. I think one guy might have played Buddy Holly. Big T, can you look that up? I think there was a DJ that was so amazed by a Buddy Holly song that he played it nonstop for like 24 hours. It was the every day, it's a getting stronger, going faster than roller coaster. Love like yours can surely come my way.
I'm not seeing anything about that.
I think it was some DJ that did that. Where was this guy? Anyways, that was the first like marathon morning show stunt to drum up ratings, and it worked. So people started to do it. What was the longest you guys have ever been without sleeping?
Ooh.
I pulled a couple all-nighters like in college.
So back to back?
So
No, not in a row.
Wow, that's crazy.
that would go from like 9 a.m. the day
Yeah.
you wake up, and then you stay up all night, and then you go back to sleep at what, like 11, 12 the next day?
Something like that, probably.
And did you feel like a zombie?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like deal with this now. It's not the day of it happening that I feel the most tired. Like you're kind of running on just like adrenaline at that point. It's like 2 days later.
It hits you in a delay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, they're not fun. I used to do that like in like high school and college. I would just be the worst version of myself. But yeah, no, it was not enjoyable. You feel like itchy and like your body is like trying to tell you, like it's rejecting what you're doing to it.
You feel drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my worst days are, it's not when I stay up all night, because I can usually get through the next day if that happens. Not that I do it a lot, but if that happens, getting through the next day, you're right. It's like adrenaline. The worst days are when you can't sleep and you try to sleep and you only sleep for like 2 or 3 hours.
And then you wake up and you're like, did I ever go to sleep?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that I ever actually went to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
The entire next day, might as well write that one off.
Yeah.
Nothing good's coming out of my mouth that next day. And then the next night's sleep, sometimes it's not as easy to fall asleep that next night as you would like it to be, even though you're super tired because you've been running, like your body's been trying to fuel it with adrenaline. Your brain's not working. Then you get like way behind on sleep. I have no idea how like new parents with very fussy babies do it, how they're able to like go to work off like 2 hours of sleep every night. Sounds tough.
Yeah, it is. Except I never had a real job though, so
It's pretty good.
But you had to be somewhere in the morning.
yeah. When I was in my profession, at the time, it's like it was a trade-off. All right, I provide the home that you sleep in, and you take care of the baby, so I can provide for the home that you sleep in. So it's like a trade-off. You know, I couldn't.
Yeah.
What time do NFL guys get to the facility, like during the season?
Different strokes, different folks, some dudes. And it depends on what's going on. I try to get there probably like an hour before I had to be. to like 7-ish. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I didn't, depending on the day.
So you don't have to be there till 8.
That's when our meeting started. I think our meeting started at 8. And there's sometimes, boy was late. Sometimes boy walked in 7:55. Happens, man.
8's not that bad.
It's not bad.
Nah,
I think Jaden gets there at like 5:30 in the morning.
easily.
He's got nothing else to do.
Yeah, no girls.
Yeah.
Easy to just roll out of your bed. Got to go to work.
Hey, yo, I meant to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
His mama.
Yeah, be careful. Ms. Jackson.
Yeah. So listen, and this is coming from an NFL athlete who made a lot of bad decisions. A lot. And maybe my mama needed to bully some of these Jones away from me. But I just want to get your take on Jada's mama.
Mm-hmm. Be careful. She has a name.
No,
Ms. Jackson. Also his agent, businesswoman.
She's his agent.
Yep. Lamar did it. Worked out well. I think that she has her son's best interest in mind, and she knows the type of problems that you can get yourself into if you're a very talented young man with a lot of money in your pocket, a lot of notoriety. I think the no girls quote was actually an old quote. That was from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And that's not the case anymore. Jaden is allowed to date, from my understanding, if he wants to. And that quote came from a long time ago, and it got resurfaced last year. And so now people are acting like it's a new thing that's happening. But yeah, I think she's trying to do the best for her son and navigate a very tricky situation. And she's doing it the best way she knows how. I don't think that she's like chaperoning him on dates and stuff. I don't think it's to that point. I think she's just, she's being a protective mama.
I got you. Yeah, cause I mean, I don't care enough to like look into it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to know. I think I saw like a interview or a clip of her, like, and it just seemed a little okay, ma. seemed a little. It looked a little toxic, but like I said, I don't know the ins and outs. So I'm just a bystander, so I don't know.
I am team Ms. Jackson.
Got you. All right.
Whatever's been happening, whatever's working, don't touch anything. Keep everything the same.
Don't touch it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think that's her position as well.
It is.
Literally.
Yes, it is. It is. But you will not catch me saying a bad word. I have a healthy fear, not that I'm afraid of her, but I don't want to ever get to a point where I'm afraid of Ms. Jackson.
You don't want to have to say that you're sorry, Miss Jackson.
I don't. I'm being for real.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I see y'all.
I don't want to be without a paddle trying to straddle and ride this thing on out. And the Union go, let's make him out because my dick go in her mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Jealousy, envy, cheating, beating, envy, into the G's would be the same thing. Maybe
Nice.
All-time great song. I was going to say
It's up there.
top 10, maybe top 10 song.
Do I have my Outcast bobblehead here? Yeah, here it is.
You Outcast?
Oh, yeah. Look
Dude,
at that.
it's
Two dope boys in
Have
Cadillac.
you ever seen this? It's Outcast in a Cadillac. They're both wearing Braves jerseys.
I didn't pin that. I've seen that up there. I didn't.
Shout
know
out
that was
Blooper. My guy
Outkast.
Blooper got this for me. It was a very coveted bobblehead.
It's a great gift.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Okay, go Big T.
Can we talk about some of the greatest hits from Howard Stern real quick?
Yes.
Didn't he just they done, ain't they?
Maybe.
It's a weird situation. It seems like it. Who knows? He should be.
Mm-hmm. So I remember growing up, people talking about this in D.C. because he was on the air in D.C. I think he was at D.C. 101, one of the stations I talked about earlier. But Howard Stern was a morning DJ there for a while, and there was a plane crash. Air Florida Flight 90 crashed into 14th Street Bridge, PFT's plane corner. They de-iced the plane before it took off in a winter storm, and then they let it sit on the runway, I believe, for like an hour after they de-iced it. And so the plane got re-iced from the storm. And then it took off, and I think it was the flaps that didn't work, and it just immediately crashed, like right after it took off. And it was a big deal. It crashed right into the Potomac River, like right next to downtown D.C., like very close to the monument and all that stuff. And so 78 people died. And then Howard Stern got on the air in D.C. the next day, and as a prank, this is a classic prank, they called up Air Florida, the airline, and they said that they were interested in buying a ticket from National Airport to the 14th Street Bridge, and they want to know how much that was going to run them. And but then Howard Stern said, like, I was mad at the airline for not de-icing the plane, so I was pranking them. But people in D.C. didn't really think about that in that way at the time. He got fired, I think, about a year later, but that was supposedly unrelated to the call. Then in 1992, this is a quote from Stern that's just wild. He said, "The closest I ever came to making love to a black woman was I masturbated to a picture of Aunt Jemima on a pancake box. I did it right onto her kerchief." He got fined $600,000 for that. That's a lot of money back in 1982 or 1992 for that one.
Should have fast forwarded to today. Can't even find Aunt Jemima.
Can't, much less jack off onto it.
Yeah.
This is what they took away from you.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty wild. And then in 1995, you remember Selena? You guys familiar with Selena?
I had a high school Spanish teacher who made us watch the movie on Selena,
With J-Lo.
and she sobbed,
Yeah.
and it was a little uncomfortable.
J-Lo, Edward James Olmos. I forget who else.
Good
was in that
movie.
It was a good movie, yeah.
She's amazing.
So on the day,
I got the vinyl.
she is good. Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. Good song.
Mm-hmm.
The day of her funeral, Stern was on the air, and he said Alvin and the Chipmunks had more soul than Selena. He said Spanish people have the worst taste in music. He then did a Hispanic accent and started mocking Mexicans for dirty water, corrupt government, bestiality, and their cardboard box houses.
This is shit like nowadays is normal.
Well,
So, like,
not for
if-
Howard
if
Stern.
Oh, he grew empathy.
He
'Cause
grew.
empathy's woke now.
He did grow empathy. Yeah, he stopped with this, but yeah, I mean he said that everyone at her funeral was so hungry and starved that they ate her fingers and toes,
The fuck?
and then he apologized to them, but they rejected his apology. And there was a judge in South Texas that put out an arrest warrant for disorderly conduct.
Was that ever taken care of, or?
No, the warrant was never served, but there was a judge that signed an arrest warrant for him.
Wonder if he's been to South Texas since then.
I don't know. Stay out of Laredo, Howard Stern. Pretty wild stuff. Then he had a cast member from Different Strokes on his show, 1999, Dana Plato. And she was on his show, and Stern was talking to her about the drug addiction. She seemed like she was kind of messed up. Stern asked her to take a drug test, and the listeners were calling in, being like, "Yeah, you're high right now." It was a bad appearance for her, probably a bad idea for her to go onto the show. They took some hairs from her head, and then after going on the show, she went home, took a Valium, and she took some other drugs too, and she died like right after going on that show. Classic Howard Stern. There's also a guy on DC 101 named the Grease Man, and the Grease Man was a wild dude. He was like a true shock jock. He was a former cop, I think, and then he got a job, and he said some really, really bad stuff, but he had a firing like every 10 years he would get fired, and then 10 years would go by, they'd forget about the firing, they'd bring him right back, and then he'd get fired again. It was a nice cycle for him. It's like the Grease Man's back. We've forgotten about it.
I feel like I just missed this era of radio
Yeah.
where
The golden age.
like this all sounds so foreign, but it was common.
Yep. It was. I mean, also growing up, did you ever listen to Opie and Anthony?
No, I think I heard about him though.
They got in trouble because they had a contest to see if they're like what location could their listeners have sex in that was the craziest. And they would send out like their intern or one of the people on their show to like tag along just to verify that they were having sex, and they would like call in live from these locations, be like, "Yep, they're banging right now, guys."
What the fuck?
It's called Sex for Sam. And so one of the things that they did was they sent a couple from Virginia to have sex in St. Patrick's Church during Mass. A security guard saw them and kicked them out. The Catholic League got really mad. They tried to get the station's license revoked, and they were fined $357,000 by the FCC. These are big fines, especially back in the 90s. They also said on April Fool's Day, 1998, you got to have your antenna up if you're listening to Morning Talk on April Fool's Day. That's number one. But they told their listeners that the mayor of Boston died in a car wreck. And then people started showing up to the mayor's house to comfort the family. They got fired for doing that in Boston. But then they got hired in New York. They're like, you don't want these guys? Yeah, we'll take them. Just classic bit.
You got to be. I don't believe anything on April 1st.
No.
Like when y'all got Max with the Jerry O'Connell thing, like you have to be cognizant that it is April 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this job. I mean,
yeah,
my goodness.
That was an all-time bad moment by Max.
Yeah, but it turned out great for him.
It turned out awesome. Yeah, he got to go to the White House with the Eagles. Pretty crazy. So there was, I forgot about this report, but back in the 90s, Bill Clinton delayed air traffic at LAX because he was on the tarmac getting a haircut on Air Force One. And so
kind of baller.
No planes could take off or land because Bill Clinton was he was getting a fade.
Couldn't have done that in the air?
You don't want to get a haircut in the air.
You're already on a plane. What's the difference?
The plane turns.
Not significantly.
I think so.
I'm sure that you could yell to the pilot, hey, let us know when we've got 30 minutes.
If you're at cruising altitude, I can see you getting a little trim up there. So
nobody ever confused Bill Clinton with a crispy lineup, fam. So
you don't think he had a good haircut?
I didn't say it. I didn't say a good hair. I said crispy lineup.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between, like, you know what I'm saying, how y'all get haircuts with the, but like he never had a Steve Harvey. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. So
who are some whites currently that you would say have crispy lineups?
You know who dropped the ball on that is as soon as he started dating Taylor Swift.
Travis, yeah.
Yeah, he no longer that haircut style went out of style when he started dating Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Whites with crispy lineups. I don't know. I'd have to see. I don't know that it's
what qualifies as crispy.
When it don't, like, it go, you know what I'm saying, straight, boom, it drops and it curves into the beard or to a nice low point. You know what I mean?
Have you seen Jeff Lowe's hair? He gets a haircut like once a week.
I haven't. I've never noticed his lineup.
That would hurt his feelings. I don't know if his qualifies as crispy. He's very obsessive about his hair.
Gets a cut every like 2 weeks, I think.
Oh, more than that, I think.
I get mine like once every. That's normal though. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Normal.
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. Crispy white dude haircuts.
So when Clinton got his crispy white dude haircut and shut down air traffic, there was a Chicago guy, Mancow. You guys familiar with Mancow at all?
No, but I do love all these names.
Yeah, Mancow. His name was Eric Muller, but he went by Mancow. Big T, look up Mancow and tell me that doesn't look like a 1990s shock jock.
I have a picture in my head.
Pull this guy up.
Oh, very different than what I would have anticipated.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No, this guy, he looks like one of the guys from Entourage. I don't know which one. I've never seen the show, but...
Yeah, Turtle. He looks like Turtle. Jerry Ferrar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mancow in 2009, first of all, in 2009, he got waterboarded by a member of the U.S. military live on his show.
How'd that go?
I think it went pretty good, but after Clinton got his haircut, he did a thing in 1993. He was working in San Francisco at the time, and then he took out the radio station cars and vans to block traffic on the Bay Bridge during rush hour while his co-host got a haircut on the spot so nobody could cross the bridge. That's insane. Like, to me, that whole city's going to be mad at you, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could you ever work there again if you shut down traffic? I guess Chris Christie did it, and it worked out okay for him.
Well, he was on the way out.
He was on the way out. Yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'm a lame duck. But yeah, if you shut down traffic in your entire city to do a radio stunt, everyone in that town's good. They should storm your office at that point. They should overthrow the station.
I think, like, shutting down an interstate, like with a protest or whatever it is should be punished incredibly severely.
Harshly.
Not very American of you, Big T.
You have a right to assemble. You do not have a right to shut down the interstate.
It's not very American of you.
I don't agree with your premise.
America was born on protest.
You are more than welcome to protest.
America don't happen without disruptive protests. Protests are meant to be disruptive.
You can do whatever.
Or else it's not a protest. You're just standing.
You can't shut down the interstate.
Ambulances, fire trucks.
Protest where you're allowed to protest.
I welcome all protests.
Until you've been sitting on the interstate.
Or disagree. That's like the very essence of what it means to be American.
Yeah, but Aaron, what about ambulances and fire trucks, things like that?
Shit happens.
I got a problem with that.
Of course you do. Look, you've never seen a protest that was effective, that wasn't disruptive, that didn't bother people.
Oh, I understand. I get that.
It's supposed to be disruptive.
Everybody's going to be bothered by something, but there are places you're allowed to do it and places you aren't.
And I would argue that is anti-American.
I disagree.
I think if you're shutting down emergency services vehicles for people that are like having medical emergencies and
so protest, but just don't be a nuisance.
Well, that's more than a nuisance.
What is it?
That's like
what if you had an ambulance that needed to get to you?
Possibly preventing somebody from living.
Usually when people protest to that degree, they're protesting people that are dying. Or something of the sort.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you deem as important is it's subjective. So if somebody feels like this is bringing attention to a cause that could save lives, that is noble in their eyes.
No, I know what you're saying, that in their minds it's like I'm saving a lot of lives, I'm inconveniencing some people and messing up their day. But like if like a little kid has to go to the hospital, like that's fucked up. If you got,
I think it's a weak excuse.
Okay, I think it's valid. There's also the classic drink a lot of water and don't pee morning stunt. Have you heard about that one, Aaron?
What's that?
All right, so this is kind of PSA. Just heads up, it's dangerous to do this. It was in Sacramento in 2007. It was right after the Wii came out, the Nintendo Wii. It was hard to get them.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. And so they had a contest to see who could drink the most water without taking a piss. And there was a mom in California that came in second place, not even first place. She drank 1.5 gallons of water in like an hour without peeing. And her stomach got really big because she was a small woman and she had a lot of water in there. And on her way home, she called her boss and said that her head was hurting really bad and she was crying, and then she died afterwards because she got water intoxication. So if you drink a ton of water and you don't pee, or just if you drink a ton of water, you can actually die because it throws off the sodium imbalance in your bloodstream and in your body. So the only way to treat that is if she got like an IV sodium drip, but they didn't have that at the studio. I don't think they knew that it was a deadly thing that you could do. So it messes up your body's balance, and then the brain starts to swell. Then you get seizures and you stop breathing. So if there's a death in a marathon, usually it would happen because somebody overhydrated. So they were like laughing at her in the studio, kind of making fun of her condition she was in. And she did not win the contest. Again, she came in second place and died.
That's great.
And she won 2 tickets to a Justin Timberlake concert.
Not a bad consolation prize.
Not bad. And then also after she died, a jury gave her $16.5 million, or gave her husband $16.5 million because she died.
Damn,
fair.
That's interesting.
I would probably, I would definitely quit. I'd stop doing morning show hosting if I were responsible for somebody's death because of a wacky contest I had.
I mean, did they not get fired?
I don't know what happened to them. It was KDND. And
if someone dies, surely you got fired.
The morning show was called The Morning Rave. Also, if you're at a rave, you should drink lots of water. That's another thing that happens a lot there.
But not too much.
Not too much water. No, 10 people got fired from it.
You would think.
Trish, Maney, and Lucas. They were the 3 main hosts, and I believe they were all fired. But yeah, I would quit hosting radio just forever after that. So that's the short list of morning show stunts gone wrong.
What was y'all's morning radio show that you listened to as a kid?
I used to listen to sports radio, 106.7 The Fan, and I would listen to 99.1 HFS. I think it was Brutus in the morning. I think that was the guy's name.
When I was a kid, I think they're still on. It was called The Burt Show in Atlanta. And now I think it's like it's syndicated a lot of places at least.
Yeah.
That was like the show my parents loved to listen to.
That and so I would listen to those 2 shows, and then after I got into high school, Elliot in the Morning. That was the big show in DC. I think he's still on the air there, and he was a big Caps fan, so it became a must listen, especially during the wintertime.
And then 680 The Fan was the sports station. I was like, man, if I could ever just work at 680 The Fan, like
yeah,
that would be, and I would still love to work there. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trade the job I have for that, but I was like, man, if I could ever just work there.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's Macrodosing. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be back for Nanodosing. Enjoy your NFL weekend. Enjoy football. Soak it all in. We got a full slate. And then next week we'll do Nano Tuesday, and then Deja Vu on Thursday.
Arian in Chicago.
Forgot about that.
Let's go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Love you guys.